The depression is gone. It's been replaced by a little bug called HOUOUIN KYOUMAAA. You forgot today was April Fool's. Oh dear. This is why the chat cat is much larger and I am my Sibunui form for the first time in a long time. But yeah, it is April Fool's. You're a bit confused. It's just a normal Steins Gate stream. Nothing's different, actually. What are you talking about? Everything's normal. You have found a blue Gatorade out in the wild. Nice. It sounds like I stalled long enough for you to get back, because I didn't want to really restart without at least one person actively in chat. Because, yeah. What do you mean? There you are. I've been here the whole time. Sure you have, Kurisu. Have you? Some games feel weird playing without an audience. Yeah, like I'm not entirely sure Steins Gate is exactly like that, but like we left off on a cliffhanger of seeing Kurisu yet again, just like the last week, so like I would feel bad if at least one person wasn't here. Yep. Yesterday and the day before. I've been here a long time. It did seem that way, come to think of it. My head seemed like it was full of fuzz. My headache is gone, actually, now that I think about it. Yay, that is... But I wasn't sleepy or tired, or anything like that. My mind was very awake. But something was missing. Something important. Mayuri? Oh. Hey. Where are Daru and Mayuri? Are you really okay? Does something happen to you? I mean... What do you mean? Hashida and Mayuri are right there. What? But... Last time with Kurisu was just... Her, like, Daru was still alive, but he wasn't there and he hadn't been there in a while, and then Mayuri was dead. Did we go further back in time? I am confused. Huh? Okarin! Do-do-do. How could you miss somebody as big as me, Okarin? So true. How do you miss Daru? Oh, that's right. Daru and Mayuri were always here, weren't they? No, it wasn't just them. Kyouma, you doing okay, nya? I'll use my kitty charms to make you feel better, nya. Kitty charms, I love this. I love you, Ferris. Ferris is so good. 10 out of 10. Would Ferris again. Kyouma, if there's anything I can do to help you feel better, just tell me. Ferris and Lukako too. And... I'll make you a special juice from the edible grasses they found in this area, Rintaro Okabe. I'm here too, Okabe. This is a Moika. All of the lab members were in the lab, like they always were. That's right. This is my daily life. This was how I spent every day. It appears everyone has arrived. Doc P in hand. Therefore, we shall now begin the 65,536th round table. Are you ready? Did we go that far back? I'm so confused. Sir, where's your phone so I can see the fucking date? You're always so loud. And you need to wipe that self-satisfied expression right off your face, assistant. I keep telling you, I am not your assistant. Okarin and Kurisu are always such good friends. You're the perfect couple. Now go explode. Oh dear. Wait, Hashida? I'm not in a relationship with this guy. You should be, though. They say the closer you are, the more you fight, yeah? I'm jealous. Oh my god. You should join in the fun, Urishibara. What? I couldn't. I just couldn't. It's fun. Stop wasting time, guys. We're starting the meeting. I just randomly got like a small like whiff of something sweet. I don't know what it is, but it's just making me want donuts. And that's a problem because I do not have donuts. Like specifically a glazed donut would be really good right now. I hate life. Tell Spooky. He's at work right now. Or I guess he's not at work right now. He's probably on his way home. But we don't have money to spend on donuts. Maybe on Monday, because that's when we get our food stamps, like, refreshed, I guess. I don't know, reloaded. There we go. Words. So, what are we talking about today? What's the fucking date? When is this? What's going on? What else? Our topic for today is food stamps. Reloaded. So true. What? Our topic. Okabe. Something was wrong. You don't fucking say. Okarin. Everything seemed the same, but... What's wrong, Okarin? Oh, the color's fading. That's right, it was cold. Kyouma? They didn't feel it. Kyouma. No emotions. Rintaro Okabe. No warmth. Okabe. Everyone was here. But it was cold and dark. Cold. Cold. Cold, 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 cold. I might have said cold more times than they were present, but I have done my best to say it as many times as it is there. Did I miss it cold? Or are you just messing with me? The world may never know. It was so cold I felt like the marrow of my bones was going to freeze. That's not a good feeling. Like my bones were made of ice. Like all the blood in my body had been replaced with mercury. Oof. It was cold. I felt like I was going to freeze at any moment. What was this? Where was this place? Where was I? I guess it was just a dream that time. Where was I? What was I doing? I tried to speak, but the words didn't come out. It looked like I was lying on a bed. And a very hard one at that. I slowly looked around. It wasn't the lab and it wasn't my room. The room was old and gloomy. And of course I'd never seen it before. What was I doing here? There was a terrible pain in my head, like someone had jammed an electrode into my brain. I tried to raise my hand as I lay there, but it was too heavy. It was like all the joints in my body had frozen. It took all my strength to slowly sit up. Each time I moved a little, my muscles screamed and pain ran through my whole body. After several minutes, I finally succeeded in sitting on the edge of the bed and looking down. I realized I was wearing a white gown, like hospital patients wear. There was some kind of equipment on my head, and the cables coming out of it were connected to a strange machine. What had happened to me? Just a moment ago I was... That's right, Kaguri. Kurisu's memories had been downloaded into Kaguri's head. We tried to erase them by overwriting them with Kaguri's own memories. And then... That's right, I remembered now. The world line had shifted right after that. What had happened then? I tried to remember, but it was like my mind was filled with fog. For now, I needed to figure out where I was. I took off the headgear and got out of bed. And collapsed. This didn't make sense. Was I just dizzy after all what was going on in my head? I tried to stand up again. And I couldn't get any strength in my legs. I kept standing up and falling over, and in the end, I was only able to get up by grabbing the side of the bed. How could standing on my own 2 feet be so exhausting? Was I sick with some terrible disease? And then maybe I'd been in bed for several days. I somehow managed to drag my weak legs to the door. It was bizarrely heavy. Or maybe it just seemed that way to me. It only opened after I put my full weight on it. Why are we all of a sudden in a horror game setting? Like dark hallway, like escaping random hospital-esque room. Like what happened to my Steins gate? I know it's April Fool's Day, but like this is just a normal part of the game. The door was locked, but it seemed to be the kind that could be opened from the inside. I walked down the dark hallway, leaning up against the wall for support. At the end of the hall were stairs. Not hallway, just hall. I clung to the railing and slowly walked up them. At the end of the stairs, I found a hatch. Using the full strength of my back, I was just barely able to get it open. I was inside an old building. I walked down the crumbling hallway, still clueless as to what was going on, and finally found the door to the outside. Exhausted, I staggered outside, and I saw... What the fuck is going on? Mountains of shattered rubble. What the heck? Rows of destroyed, abandoned buildings. Yeah, horror movie time indeed. Exposed twisted steel girders? Girders. I don't know that word. At first I thought it was a movie set, but it was all far too realistic for that. The walls, the windows, the ceilings, everything was destroyed. Little bits of rubble covered the ground. There were cracks in the asphalt on the road, making it impossible to walk straight. And it wasn't just directly in front of me. I spun around a full 360 degrees and saw the same scene everywhere. I smelled oil. I smelled something burning. I looked up to the sky. It was dark and gloomy. I thought it might just be cloudy, but something else seemed to be going on. I could see the hazy outline of the sun beyond the black curtain that covered the sky. A violent pain in my throat made me cough. I quickly covered my mouth with the sleeve of my gown. My eyes stung. I tried once more to calm down and see if I could remember what happened, but I had no luck. All I knew for sure was that there had been a world line shift when it deleted Kurisu's memories from inside Kagari. The memories held by the Amadeus Kurisu. And the memories implanted in Kagari. Maybe when whoever owned them changed, that is, whoever held Kurisu's time machine theory, the world line changed with it. And this was another altered world line. Which meant what I was seeing was... I saw what looked like an ash-covered stick poking out of the ground in the corner of my eye. I slowly went to take a closer look. It was sticking out of the rubble, and the tip bit split into 5 smaller branches. It was a hand. It was a human hand that had been scorched pitch black. A terrible feeling came rising up out of my stomach. Suddenly, I thought I saw something move. Someone was there. Where? I listened carefully to try and pick them out. The other side of that big building. I could hear some kind of sound from over there. Was someone there? If there was, maybe they could tell me what the hell was going on. Trying my best not to make any sound, I peeked through the walls of the crumbling building. They were there all right. There were people there. Lots of them. But they weren't people anymore. They were just human-shaped wads of meat, piled up into a mountain. And on top of the mountain was a pack of dogs. Something long and slick was hanging out of the dogs' mouths. Intestines. They were eating them. They were eating the bodies. The stench was horrible. The sound of the flies was overwhelming. Yum. So true. So tasty. Delightful. I love what we have going on here. It's wonderful. It was like something out of hell. Because our dear protagonist here was not traumatized enough, apparently. How did we get here? I don't know. Really don't know, man. My gaze met the vacant eyes of one of the bodies. One of its eyes fell out, and black insects crawled out of the empty socket. I ran away. I ran as fast as I could, stumbling forward on failing legs. Somewhere. Was there somewhere around here that was sane? But no matter how far I went, it was the same thing. Mountains of rubble, rows of abandoned buildings. All I could see were the dead. There were no living humans. And then I found it. There were rows of huge buildings, which all looked as if they were about to fall over. The roads were full of cracks. There was a warped overpass sticking out of the ground. A few rows of iron and railroad ties. I knew it. I knew this place. It was only a shadow of its former self, but I knew it. This was Akihabara, which meant... What happened to the lab? Where was Mayuri? Where was Daru? Where was Ferris? What about Lukako or Suzuha? What happened to Maho and Kagari? Just as I ran toward the lab to find out, I heard footsteps behind me. Rough footsteps, stomping over the rubble more than one set. They got louder and louder, and soon I saw them coming toward me from between the crumbling buildings. There were 3 of them. They each had assault rifles in their hands, 'cause of course they did. You, what are you doing here? There. When they saw me, they all pointed their guns at me. There was so much I wanted to ask them. There were things I wanted to know. But the only thought that came to me was that I needed to get away. But even as I tried to turn and run, my body refused to listen. Don't move! They must have sensed that I was about to flee, because one of them yelled. Holes appeared in the concrete at my feet. They shot at me. They really shot at me. They shot at me with real guns. If I'd just been a little closer, they would have hit me. I was too scared to stand. The men got closer, still holding the guns. Run. You have to run. It was like my body belonged to someone else. It wasn't listening to me. The men kept getting closer. And then there was another sharp noise. One of the men collapsed to the side. He hit his head on the rubble and stopped moving. The other 2 waved their guns around, clearly confused as to what just happened. You're in the way. That sounds like Suzuha. Something dragged me to the ground. And then more gunshots. The 2 of them fell backwards, still holding their weapons, at almost the exact same time. They died. Right in front of me. Someone had died. I could do nothing more than sit there and watch as a silhouette moved in front of me. Are you trying to get killed? I looked up, and the person I saw was... Yeah, it is Suzuha. Hello. You don't know us anymore, do you, though? That's... Suzuha. Come on. How are you gonna sit there? Did you kill him? That's a dumb question. What kind of stupid question is that? Same. It was a colder voice than I'd ever heard. You're... Suzuha, right? Her iron mask of an expression suddenly changed to surprise. But that was only for a moment. A second later and the fierceness had returned. Who are you? Did you really not? You don't know who I am? Did the change in the world line mean that Suzuha and I had never met? It's me, Okabe. Rintaro Okabe. The expression on her face changed again. Rintaro Okabe. That's impossible. 2 pairs of icy footsteps sounded in the darkness. This way. After I had given my name, Suzuha stared at me suspiciously for a moment. Then she made some kind of call and told me to come with her. She made me wear a blindfold almost the entire time, though. So I had no idea which way I'd gone or where I was. Stop. I did as she said. When I heard the knock, I finally realized we were in front of a door. Moe moe for you. That has to be Taru. Bakyun kyun. What a silly password setup. Moe moe for you. Bakyun kyun. Come in. Evidently that was the password. I could only think of one man who chose such a stupid password. I heard the sound of a heavily locked door opening, and at last I saw a dimly lit room in the darkness. The room was piled high with what looked like a mechanical junk. Rows of instruments lined the walls. A man was sitting in front of them, looking straight at me. I'm so glad. You're finally awake, Okurin. Who was this guy? How did he know my name? He must have been in his mid-40s. He was a big, broad-shouldered man with a stubbly face. There was a sharp but gentle light in his eyes. I felt like I'd seen him somewhere before. Who are you? Ah, jeez. Did you forget about me? Even after all that's happened, that still hurts, Okurin. You look so different. You grew up. The way he talked, in that voice. There was only one person it could be. But that was... Are you... Daru? The man's face broke into a broad smile. Good. You did remember. I thought you'd forgotten. Daru. Is it really you? Who else do you know that's as handsome as me? Right, Suzuha? I might admit that if you lost a little weight. Don't say that. I've lost a lot since I was younger. You really did. Good on you, man. Indeed, the Daru in front of me was quite a bit slimmer than the Daru I knew. And wait, Dad, why are you talking funny? I don't usually talk like this, but I figured it would make things easier for Okurin. The more pressing issue, though, was his age. He was clearly a middle-aged man. The youngest I could possibly imagine him to be was in his early 40s. We somehow ended up in the future, I guess. And then I saw a shelf in the corner. I saw a man I didn't know reflected in its glass. There was another man like him, in his 40s. He was staring at me with a gloomy, sunken face. I slowly raised my right hand, and the man raised his left as if copying me. Daru. Tell me something. Anything you want, man. What year is it? Daru's smile quickly became something more serious as he answered me. It's 2036. The world is at war. Daru gave me all the details. Then, this really is the year 2036. That's right. It seemed unbelievable. But Daru's appearance, and more than anything my own, made it undeniable. 2036. Suzuha had said that World War III would start sometime in the next 10 years. 5.7 billion people would die, and the population of Tokyo would drop to a tenth of what it once was. After that, the Third World War itself would end, but the chaos would continue, and even in Japan, no, everywhere around the world, battles would continue. Was that what I'd just seen? But why don't I remember any of this? All my memories were of 2011. I had no memories of the past 25 years. My last memory was of erasing Kurisu's memories from Kaguri's head. And Suzuha told me that I would die in 2025. Why am I alive? Good question. Good fucking question. I want to know that too, Dad. Suzuha chimed in. We were all told that Uncle Okurin died 10 years ago. Suzuha leaned over him. What's going on here, Dad? Did you lie to all of us? Calm down, Suzuha. I'll explain. Daru looked at me as if he was remembering old times, and then resumed his explanation. Okurin said you've only got memories up to halfway through January 2011, right? Yeah. The world line changed in January 2011. That's all I remember. I got in 25 years older without realizing it. The fact it was starting to eat away at me. Maybe there's some problem with your body. Or maybe you're just confused. You should have memories up to the end of January 2011. The end? Why the end of the month? It was the end of the month when Mahotan saved your memory data. I see. Yeah, just saved my memories. I guess you told Mahotan to take memory samples from me to help with the Amadeus research, right? I volunteered for Amadeus. And then I realized something incredible. Which means that inside my brain... Yep, just like you guessed. Your memories are the ones that were digitized in 2011. Digitized memories inside my head. Wait, Dad, I don't understand what's going on. How is Uncle Ocarina alive anyway? Yeah, that's the more pressing issue anyway. You told me he died in 2025, right? He did. For all intents and purposes anyway. What's that supposed to mean? For all intents and purposes. That was when the race to make the time machine was at its peak. Everybody in the world wanted the paper that Kurisu Makise had written and her memories. But at the time, Stratfor had everything that she'd left behind. Stratfor. But even if they had it, they couldn't read it. They couldn't break the lock, you see. By the way, I was the one who built that lock in 2010. Nice. So they decided to capture someone who knew her well and get information from them. And that was me. They did everything they could think of to try and get information about Kurisu Makise out of you. When we rescued you, your mind was shattered. You lost the ability to ever survive on your own. Ever. Well. You were as good as dead, and there was no chance you'd get better. I see. Then, his body was alive. That's right. Ocarina himself had given me the idea. He was starting to get worried about how they were after him. But you could have at least told me, right? You know what they say, right? To deceive your foes, first deceive your friends. But Shizuha seemed a little depressed. It must have come as a shock that her dad didn't trust her. Don't be like that, Shizuha. Only a very few people in Valkyrie knew about this. I knew the name Valkyrie. Shizuha had talked about it a lot in 2010. It was the name of Dadri and Shizuha's resistance organization. Let's move on. Okarin's mind was shattered, and he was incapable of surviving. If he didn't do something, even his body would have died. Fair. Understandable. Have a nice day. So a few people who knew the truth have been watching over him for years in another facility. From 2025 to 2036. 11 years, without letting anyone find out. You needed nutrients to keep your body alive. And since I was in bed the whole time, my joints would have gotten stiff, and friction against the bed would have caused my skin to split open. Someone had watched over me the whole time to keep that from happening. Was it Mayuri? Not just Mayushi. There's Tan and Lukashi, and Mahotan too. No. They were alive. Nagiri, Ferris, and Likoko. Even in this terrifying world, they were still alive and still looking after me. They had been for years.
No.
Hey, Daru. Why did I wake up now? My memories had been digitized in 2011. If they'd known those memories existed, they could have downloaded them into me a lot earlier, right? That's easy to explain. Until just a little while ago, we didn't know where they were. Fair enough, I guess. Actually, Steffer had been holding on to yours and Kurisu's memory data the entire time. We just didn't know where it was. I found it 2 weeks ago. Want to guess where it was? It'll shock you. Where? Right next to us the whole time. It was at our college. No way. Tokyo Denki. They had a base in the basement. Not that there's much of anything left there now. Steffer had a base in the basement of Tokyo Denki. So 2 weeks ago, we managed to salvage your memory data and download it into your brain. But for the next 10 days, I hadn't woken up. And just as they were about to give up, I finally awoke him. After 25 years. 25 years. I stared at my hands. They were so thin I could almost see the bone, and I could see veins popping out of them. The face reflected in the glass was unhealthy and wrinkled. My hair was starting to turn white too. So I woke up after 25 years. I'm just like Urashima Taro. You can understand that it'll take a while to process it. Of course, it was a shock. But the most shocking thing was... these memories were once data. Huh. My memories since I was a kid. My memories of that summer. My memories of Kurisu. All of them had been transformed into zeros and ones. Could you still say I was a person? Could I still be called human? But it's the same as Makisashi's time leap technology, right? I mean, yeah, I guess. You went through that a bunch of times, didn't you? He was right. But even if I knew it in my head, it still felt strange. I've been cut off from 25 years of time. It had all been forgotten and left behind in a digital world. I felt like it had been stolen from me. I still can't accept this. Same, Suzuha. Same. Aw, don't say that, Suzuha. You're lucky, Dad. You managed to deceive the whole world that way. I didn't have a choice. Deceived, huh? I've been deceived too. I've been told I was fated to die in 2025. And that even in the beta world line that wouldn't change. But no matter how it had happened, I was alive right now. Even in the past, I've been deceived by the future. So true. Exhaustion and mental illness. Fair. Same hat. And it wasn't just me. Suzuha and everyone else. The whole world had been deceived. The world was deceived. And then there was a knock on the outside of the door. There was a visitor, it seemed. Suzuha got close to the door. Moe moe for you. But Kyu. After hearing the world's most ridiculous password, Suzuha unlocked the door. It opened and a young girl came in. Uncle Daru, big sis Suzuha. Toot-toot-oo. Kagari, I told you not to come here unless you had a reason. Kagari. This child was a young Kaguri. No shit, Sherlock. Get with the program. Sorry. But Mama and everyone else left and they hadn't come back. No, don't get so mad. You're spoiling her again, Dad. You need to be strict at times like this. The way they interacted hadn't changed in 25 years. I ignored them and looked at Kaguri. She seemed to notice me too. I would fucking hope so. You kind of stick out like a sore thumb, dude. Hello. Hello. Who are you, mister? Me? I'm... I know. I'm a friend of your mother's. I hesitated for a moment, but decided not to give her my name. A friend of Mama Mayuri's. Yeah, that's right. Is your mama nice? Yep. Do you like her? Yep, I love her. No. I see. I could see the love she felt for her mother radiating from her face. Mayuri must have raised her with a lot of love, too. She'd been raised with everything Mayuri could give her. But after this, she was going to go to the past. She would be all alone in the past, separated from her beloved Mayuri. And then they would catch her and use her as a test subject. Hey, Dad, did you tell Big Sis Mayuhin that Uncle was up? Oh, no, I forgot. I need to do that. Oh dear. He took out what looked like a small wireless radio. This is barrel tighter. Come in. This is barrel tighter. This is Stardust Handshake. Over. Oh. The voice I heard from the speaker was definitely Mayuri's. It felt a lot calmer than what I was used to, but it was definitely Mayuri. Wait, what was Stardust Handshake? Mama! Oh, Kaguri. You're with Uncle Daru? Yep. He's busy with something important, so don't bug him too much, okay? No. Okay. Anyway, my issue. I've got special news for you. Special news? Yep. You ready for this? Okarin's awake. Really? Okarin's really... What's wrong, Maishi? Okarin's... Did Okabe wake up? Really? Okarin's awake, Nya? I love that Ferris is still young. Right after fucking World War III. Still gotta keep up the Nya. I heard one voice I knew after another coming from the radio. The voices didn't seem to have changed all that much. So I want you three to come back right now. Maishi? What's wrong with Maishi? It's no good. She's crying too much to talk. No, I can see why. She wanted Okarin back more than anyone. Mayuri. Anyway, you should get back here as soon as possible. Got it. We'll come back as soon as we get provisions. Everyone else was overjoyed, but I saw that Suzuha's expression was clouded. What's wrong, Suzuha? Why are you guys going out to get food? That wasn't planned for today. Huh? Sure it was. We got a message last night that it was today. No, it's a trap. Everyone get back here now. The scream from the speaker cut her off. What's wrong? What happened? We're under attack. The enemy. Damn it. Mayuri, Ferris, run. I'll hold them off. But if we do that, Neil... I'll be fine. Hurry. No, Luka. Luka-nya. Dad. Right. Suzuha started running and Daru followed after. Wait, Daru. I'm going to. You probably shouldn't, Okabe. Not gonna fucking lie. But Okarin, in your condition. Let me go. Please. He hesitated for a moment, but then quickly nodded and offered me his shoulder. He was a little thinner than when he was young, but his shoulder was still gigantic. I put my weight on it as we followed Suzuha. When we finally got there, I saw several silhouettes. I'd been mentally preparing myself for a fierce battle, but the whole place was dead quiet. There were several men dressed like soldiers lying on the ground nearby. In front of them was Suzuha. Kneeling next to her were two young women, and at their feet... Lukako. I could tell at a glance. Hey Fumichu, welcome to Pain. The Pain Factory is here. Just in time for character death. The person lying there was Lukako. Okarin. The two women looked up at me. Okarin. Lukanyan is... What do you mean April Fool's choices? There's no such thing as April Fool's Day. The C button's been here all the time. What are you talking about? Nothing's different. It's just a totally normal Steins Gate stream. Mayuri and Ferris both seemed beaten down by the passage of time. Okabe. His features had grown more gallant, but his face was still soft and feminine. Lukako looked at me with hazy eyes. Lukako. Is it really you, Okabe? Imagine Spooky playing this game as the April Fool's joke. You would have to wait a whole year. I mean, what's the April Fool's? Can you eat it? Yeah, Lukako. It's me. Acting as me. I would be interested to see him try, not gonna lie. But I don't know how well that would go. You called me Lukako. It really is you. A single trail of blood dripped from Lukako's mouth. His outfit was stained with blood over his right breast, and the blood dripped over onto the ground. I knew immediately that the wound was fatal. I'm glad. What I just heard was true. Yeah. Thanks to you, I was able to wake up. Thank you. Lukako's hand reached up toward the sky as if he was looking for something. Maybe he couldn't even see me anymore. When I grabbed his hand, it was very cold. Okabe. What is it? I did it. Yeah. Thanks to the Seishin Zanma school, you taught me. I was able to protect Mayuri and everyone else.
今までまゆりちゃんやみんなを守ってこられました。
Yeah.
僕
I'm
仲間
one
に
of you guys now,
なれました。
right?
よね。
Mm.
皆さん
I'm really one of you now,
の仲間
aren't I?
になれました。バカ
Idiot.
お前は
You
最
always
初から
were
ず
one
っ
of
と
us.
俺たちの仲間だ。
Lukako reached out a cold hand and touched my cheek. And smiled a dazzling smile. That makes me happy. That was all he said. And then the touch on my cheek disappeared. Lukako. 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 The cold hand fell to the rubble-covered ground. Lukanya. It never moved again. How could this happen? I'm glad. I always wanted to see Okarin. I'm glad he got to see him in the end. Yeah. Oh. Glad. She was glad. After this, Mayuri's words made me realize how hellish the last 25 years I'd slept through must have been. Look at Urishibara. You fought splendidly. You saved us. Please, rest in peace. This is just... It's not fair. So anyways, yeah, you had really great timing there, Hifumi, with your joining. You couldn't have timed it better, frankly. And I hope you enjoyed that. Where's Mayushi? She cried herself out and went to sleep. Fair. This is terrible. What do you mean? It's wonderful. It's the best thing ever. What are you talking about? You don't like getting stabbed in the heart immediately upon joining stream? Come on. I can understand that. She and Lukashi were good friends. Brother Luka. What do you mean you're not having a nyantastic time? Lukako was dead. He died protecting Mayuri and Ferris. In my mind, his death overlapped with Mayuri's. Mayuri's hands got colder, and so did Lukako's. It was the same no matter where I went. Mayuri, Lukako, and Kurisu. Everyone dies. A lot of people died after that war started. You don't fucking say. Never would have guessed that one, daughter. All our friends from elementary school, all our friends from middle and high school, all our friends from college, our relatives, our teachers, people we knew, kids, adults, even the people we loved. So many people. So many people died. I knew this was coming. At least I thought I knew. If I didn't reach Steins Gate, if I stayed in the Beta World line, the world would eventually burn. I'd heard it 1,000 times, and I thought I knew what the future would be like. But in the end, it was just a story about the distant future. It didn't feel real at all. I could only imagine it. All I had were vague, unrealistic ideas. All the thousands of nightmares I'd experienced. I thought nothing could be worse than that. But when I saw it with my own eyes, heard it with my own ears, and felt it in my own skin, I realized that everything I thought was wrong. Piles of bodies, wild dogs devouring human corpses, dead soldiers, smell of burning flesh, the smell of rotting organs, and the warmth of Lukako's blood in my hands, the warmth of Mayuri's blood, the warmth of Kurisu's blood. I thought that if nothing else, I'd managed to save Mayuri. I'd let Kurisu die, turned my eyes away from reality, told myself that at least I'd saved Mayuri and the others. But in the end, I hadn't saved anyone. Even if I had, I'd only saved myself. I was the only person I'd managed to save. No one else. Not Kurisu. Not Mayuri. Not Kaguri, not Lukako. I hadn't saved anyone. Release Kurisu from the bonds of Amadeus. Huh? A message from you in the year 2025. A message from myself. The path to Steins Gate is a hard one. Trying again once or twice probably won't get you there. I mean, but I think starting there is the best way to get to it. I think that many futures are connected to the past. That's what you said 11 years ago. Release Kurisu. So this world we're in isn't wasted. It's a world that we need. At least, that's what I think. Oddly optimistic, given the circumstances, but fair enough. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm okay with things as they are. Daru. Oh shoot, older Daru. Yeah, we're in the year 2036. Everyone's older. Love 25-year gaps. Yep. That's what you missed. You missed a lot, actually. But you came just in time for character death. Everyone's favorite. So, Okarin, why not go back and think about it? To the moment when your memories cut off. To 2011. But that's not... I could see my aged body in the glass. There we go. And anyway, even if I did go back, what could I do? Not kill Kurisu? I don't know. You can do it. Hi, Maho. I heard a voice I recognized from the radio. It's been a while, Okabe. 11 years, I think. Hiyajo. Look in the back of the room. As if he'd known what she was going to say, Daru had moved to a spot in the back of the room where the lights didn't reach. Suddenly it got brighter and I saw the phone wave. You little haunting number 8. I made this after hearing about it from Ian Hashida. See? It's got a VR headset too. I've got a lifter ready too. I thought this might happen. Just conveniently has a lifter. It be that way in the year 2036, I guess. Daddy went on to explain that for the last 11 years, he maintained an environment where I could receive the time leap even in a coma. That made sense. Even if I was in a coma, as long as they put the receiver up to my head, it would still function. Mayuri and the others had taken care of my body since 2025. Tadari and Maho had known that this day would come 11 years ago. Or maybe I told them so, back in 2025. Our improvements mean that it's now possible to go back in time with 336 hours. I don't know math, but that sounds like a lot. 336 hours. 2 weeks. But that'll only get you part of the way back. We made the modifications to the machine about 10 years ago, so beyond that you'll be able to go 48 hours at a time. In other words, if I wanted to go back to the end of January 2011, I need about 3,000 time leaps, Jesus. It's gonna be a long and painful journey, but if you're still up for it, why not just use the time machine? That's my question. Almost 3,000 time leaps. Was I really capable of something like that anymore? Limited fuel. I guess. But I think maybe the main thing is that would be more likely to cause a paradox because he would be in his 40-year-old old man body. So, shrugs. When you get tired, you can rest partway. Daru. Don't worry. No matter what year it is, we'll always be with you. I mean, I guess that much is true. Hyojo. You know, I've got a lot of regrets. Thanks to Amadeus. Even after her death, a lot of people tried to use her for evil. For years. For decades. So I want your help too. Release her. Release Kurisu from that ugly spiral of greed. Save Kurisu. You're the only one who can. I didn't know if I could do it anymore. There was no guarantee that the path I was about to travel would ever lead to Steins Gate. But even so, maybe I should think it over again. What could I do? What should I do? Alright guys. I'm in. Okie dokie. As soon as the words were out of his mouth, he started getting ready. Okabe. If you ever see Kurisu, tell her that in the future, I beat her time leap record 7 times over. I mean, yeah, huh? Got it. If I ever saw Kurisu. Okarin, I'm all set. That was fast. I've always kept it maintained. I figured he would. I bet. The phone waved in the VR headset. It looked a little different from what I'd seen in the old lab, but there were still our future gadgets. Oh. But are you sure you don't want to talk to Big Sis Mayu and the others? If I don't go now, I think my resolve is going to weaken. True that. And even if I don't see them now, I'll be able to see them whenever I want in the past. Also true that. That's right. Dowdy smiled as I took the VR headset out of his hand and put it on my head. Alright. See you 2 weeks ago. So true. Yeah. See you 2 weeks ago. Hang in there. And then I jumped back into the past once more. It took a long, long time. The journey was unimaginably long. "3,000 time leaps later." I looked at the phone I was holding in my hand. The date read January 31st, 2011. Yes, our silly little Oopa. Oh, we have Amadeus. Sick. Okay. No doubt about it. I was back. I finally made it back. I'd gone back through so many years. I'd done thousands of time leaps. Gone through the war. I had almost died. I thought of giving up a bunch of times, but each time I'd remembered it all. That ruined world. The piles of corpses. The screams. The shouting. The dripping blood. And Daddy and Maho, and how they'd sent me off. After a long, long, unimaginably long time, I'd finally made it back to this time. Okarin, did you get some bad news or something? I mean... no comment. Huh? You've been kind of spacing out since you picked up the phone. No, that's not it. That's not it. Mayuri was here. Are you still thinking about New Year's, Meowby? Meowbe? I love you, Ferris. Ferris was here. Get a hold of yourself, man. And Dadu. And Lukako. And Suzuha. Not fucking Meowbe, right? So true. And... Kagari and Maho. Maho and Kagari were here too. Are you feeling tired after what we did earlier? Earlier. You know, when we took the samples of your memories for Amadeus. Oh, right. Thought I had mentioned that. He said it was at the end of January. No, that's it. Just, you know. Kagari. What is it, Okarin? You still can't remember what happened since you came to this time. Huh? Yeah. I see. Why do you ask? No reason. I just wanted to make sure. What? You're being weird, Okarin. Since I come from the future, I knew. On this world line, Kurisu's memories no longer existed inside Kaguri's head. But it doesn't really bother me anymore, though. I mean, Mama's here, and Luca's here, and Big Sister Rumi is here too, and there's lots of food too, so maybe I don't need to force myself to remember. I see. Maybe that was fine for now. But the future was going to be filled with sorrow. For Mayuri. For Ferris. For Lukako. For Dadu. For Suzuha. For Kaguri. And for Maho. Did I really make the right choice when I decided to let Kurisu die? After everyone had left and I was alone, all the exhaustion came crashing down on me. I timed leap 3,000 times. I thought I'd be able to work things out in my head along the way, but I had been so desperate to return to the past that I hadn't had time. My mind was worn down after all the time leaps. I thought I'd made my decision, but I found myself wavering again and again. I'd only managed to do it by telling myself that I had to get back before I could make any decisions. And now my head just felt so tired. What should I do now? What should I do? For now, I didn't want to think about anything, but I felt too awake to even sleep. With everyone gone, the temperature in the lab quickly dropped. It was freezing. But it was nothing compared to the cold I'd felt before. The world I'd seen right after I'd erased Kurisu's memories from Kankuri. Kurisu was there, Mairi was there, everyone was there. It was a scene from that very brief piece I'd had during that summer. But that world had been so cold, and now I knew why. That was the world that I experienced when I was asleep, existing only as data. A world built of only of zeros and ones. Like being alive even when you're dead, or being forced to stay alive even though you were dead. The people I loved were there, but there was no warmth. I could reach out and touch them, but there wasn't even a little bit of warmth. It was like floating in deep dark space without any light at all. And Kurisu Makase was now experiencing that too. She was all alone in a cold world without the slightest trace of warmth. I raised my hand up under the fluorescent light. I could see the veins popping out of it and the red blood flowing in them. I was alive. There was warmth. But could I really say that I was alive? Now that my memories had been digitized. After being exposed to that cold world, could I still really be called human? I heard a knock at the door and turned my eyes toward it. Maho was standing there.
Hyajo-san.
Hyajo. I thought you went home. I forgot something. Forgot something. Dude, digitized Okume's dream of electric Risus. Stop. I hate you. Anyway, what are you doing here all by yourself? Maho showed no signs of looking for whatever she had lost, and so she came right up and sat down in front of me. You've had that pensive look on your face for a long time now. Is something bothering you? Maybe she's been worried enough to come back and check on me? Obviously, but she's tsundere, she's not gonna admit that. I can't take Kurisu's place, but I can still talk to you if you want. No. Hyajo. There's no need to worry about whether I could tell her or not. I needed her to make the time leap machine, and for that she needed to hear everything. It's not exactly easy to believe. Well, you listen to me anyway. Sheesh. What's your problem? That was the first thing she'd said after I finished. Just like last time, it wasn't something that was easy for her to believe. But Maho must have sensed something in the way I spoke, because she listened until I finished. She interrupted me whenever there was something she didn't understand. She was especially interested in the time machine and the time leaps. I told her everything I knew about them. May you believe me? You know, end of the world, restructuring our mutual late best friend, the usual. Resurrecting. I can read. So true, though. I don't have a choice after seeing the look on your face, and after seeing this too. Hyajo. This answers something I'd always wondered about. Kurisu had died only a short while after coming to Akihabara. Could you really have gotten to know her in that short span of time? So true. Yeah, huh. Eh, details. Especially knowing how she is, right? I thought something must have gone on for her to get so close to a boy that fast. I'd ask if the C-bone was always so wiggly, but I can't imagine I'm gonna get a straight answer today. Joke's on you, you would never get a straight answer. We are LGBT in this space here. So that was it. She whispered to herself.
それで
And so
あ
what's
なた
going
は
on in
何
your
を気に
mind?
しているの？
I turned away from her.
岡部さん？
Okabe.
俺は
Am I...
俺なんだろうか。
どういうこと？
What do you mean?
聞いただろ。
You heard what I said,
今の
right?
俺の頭の中に
My
ある
memories
記憶。
returned its data and stored on a hard
それは
drive.
一度データとなってハードいわば
We could call them
人工
artificial
記憶と
memories if you wanted.
そんな俺は
Can you really say that I'm me
果たして
anymore?
俺自身だと言えるんだろうか。生きている。
Can you really say that I'm
そう
alive?
言えるんだろうか。
There's blood running through my body, but what was in my head had been changed into zeros and ones. Didn't that make me no different than Amadeus?
なんだ。
That's
そん
what's
なことで
bothering
悩ん
you?
でたの？
That's stupid.
バカバカしい。
But Maho just laughed at my worries.
あなたは
Have you ever
哲
heard
学
of a
的ゾンビって知ってる？
philosophical zombie? No, I have not.
確か
It's
思
a
考
thought
実験の一
experiment,
つだろ。
right? Something that looks and behaves just like a human,
行動に至るまで
lacks consciousness
人
and
間そっくりだろ。
emotions, and whether or not you could objectively distinguish it from a human.
客観的に人間と区別がで
I
きる
hesitated a
のか
little as I answered her sudden question.
ま、
Well,
大体
that's
合ってる
basically
よね。
right. She nodded, satisfied, like a teacher would do. I was about to question the use of a hard drive for something so important, but it is 2011 for them. And then there's like World War III before you reach our time, so I can only imagine solid state drives don't reach the point where they were at as for now. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. It kind of depends on the progression of when the war like starts.
じゃあ仮に
Then let's say
ここ
that
に
right
人
here
間
was
そっくりの外見をした人工知能が存在するとするわよ。
Then let's say that right here there was an AI that looked just like a human.
人間と同じよ
It
うに
looks like a
振る舞い
human, acts just like
同
one
じよう
too.
に行動する。誰かが困っていれば手を差し伸ばし
When someone's in trouble, it reaches out to help them, and when it's sad, it cries.
これは決められたプロセスなのか
Maybe
もし
those
れ
are
ない
just
けれど、
pre-programmed
でも
processes,
それ
but
は
humans
人
are
間
no
だって同
different.
じ。
Everyone thinks and
個人
reacts in
個人で
accordance
定め
with
られ
their
た
own
プロセスに従
individual
って
processes.
考えて反
So
応する。
true.
私たちはその
We
プロ
just
セ
happen
ス
to
を
call these
意
processes
識や
things
感
like
情という言
consciousness
葉
and
に置き換えている
feelings.
だけじゃないかしら。
I thought I understood what Maho was trying to say.
つまり
In other words,
AI にだって感情
AIs
は
have feelings too.
少なくとも
At least,
私た
we
ち科学者
scientists
は
are
そう
doing
いう
our
ものを
best to
作り出
create
すため
them.
に日々研究を重ねているつもりよ。
Science. She puffed at her chest with pride.
じゃあ岡部さん、
So, Okabe,
あなたは
Do you
感
think
情
you're
を持
not
った
an
AI
AI
は
with
人では
emotions?
ないと思う？
if they looked just like a person and thought just like them and had feelings too, they were a person.
いや
No.
でしょ？
Right?
そもそ
It's
も
memories that make
個
someone
人
who
を
they
個
are,
人たらしめてい
anyway.
るのは記憶よ。その人が生まれ
Memories are everything people have experienced since they were born.
その集合体が人間
I
なの。
mean,
だから岡部倫太郎、
so, until the
たとえ
Okabe,
一度データになって
even
い
if
て
your
も
memories were once
あな
data,
たの記
you've
憶
got
と
your
体
body
を
and
持
your
つあなたは
memories. You're
紛れ
human.
もなく人
You're
間
until Okabe.
岡部倫太
Don't
郎
worry
よ。
about it.
ヒヤジョさん
Yajo.
だいたい
And
ク
anyway,
リスの作り出
doesn't
したっていう
Kuri's
その
time
タイ
loop
ム
machine
リ
teach
ープマシンだって
Taya's data to
記
send
憶
it
を
back
一
in
度データ
time?
化して還元するものなんでしょ？
Right?
だったら
So is there any need to worry about this
無駄だと
now?
思わない？
That's what Daru had told me in the future too. But strangely, when she said it, it made me feel better.
こういう時
Maybe Kurisu
ク
would
リ
have
ス
been
なら
able to
も
come
っ
up
と
with
的
a
確な
better
こ
way
とを
to
言え
put
たのかも
it,
しれないけど
but
いや
no, that's not
そ
true.
んなことないよ
This is more than enough.
十分だ
Maho had given her opinion, as a brain scientist, that I was still me. There was a strength in her words, just like there had been in Kurisu's when she had driven me forward. I remember what Maho had said before.
あなたは天才で
You're a genius,
所
and in
詮
the
私
end,
はサリ
I'm
エリだ
just
ったって
Salieri.
ことよ。
She'd been speaking to the memories of Kurisu inside Kaguri. but
ヒヤジョーさん
Hiyajo,
君
You're
は
not
サリエリなんかじゃない
huh?
立派なアマデウス
You're Amadeus. That's right. I'm here, right now. I'm alive, and here in this time, not in that cold sea of black data. I'm here in this time. The light came on in the darkness. My cold heart began to warm. But... Kurisu. She was still trapped inside that world. Inside that sterile, lifeless world that froze you to the depths of your soul. Even after her death, her memories were still alive. And there were all kinds of conspiracies forming around her living memories. Even after she lost her body, Kurisu's pain continued. No, it wasn't just Kurisu. Kagari and Suzuha. And in the future, Mayuri, Ferris, Lukako, and Daru too. Everyone was suffering. Everyone was miserable, but still they tried to move forward. All I had cared about was whether Mayuri survived. I thought that even if the Third World War came, no matter what happened to the world, as long as Mayuri was happy, that was all that mattered. I tried to think that. I thought that no matter how much blood and tears awaited us in the future, as long as things were fine now, that was all that mattered. I thought I'd understood. I thought I'd understood how awful the future that Suzuha described was, and how hard Daru and Suzuha would have to fight. I thought I understood all that. Suzuha, firing her gun and staining her hands with blood like it was nothing at all. Mayuri and Ferris, pale and colorless. Lukako lying on the ground and never getting up again. Kagari and the others, whose lives were ruined by fate. I'd seen them with my own eyes and touched them with my own hands, and then I finally understood. I'd been only pretending to know, so I could run away. I told myself that I was going to die in 2025 and looked the other way. Crack theory? Oh boy, let's go. What are the chances that the mastermind behind kidnapping and experimenting on Kagari was none other than Okabe with a mustache? Why with a mustache? But unfortunately, the same people behind kidnapping and experimenting on Kagari were the same people that made Okabe brain dead in 2025. So I don't think he would do that to himself. Even if he had a mustache. The trope of having an evil twin with a mustache. Fair enough. I would like you to draw that, because yes. Anyways. 2025. I wasn't dead. Everyone just thought so. Everyone had been deceived. That's right, deceived. Me in the past. An evil handlebar mustache, yes. And everyone else in the future. The world was deceived. I thought the future was settled. But a different future awaited me. The path to Steins Gate is a hard one. Trying again once or twice probably won't get you there. So true. But I think starting there is the best way to get to it. That's what you said 11 years ago. So this world we're in isn't wasted. It's a world that we need. At least, that's what I think. You were thinking more like a curly Kyouma mustache, but Okabe with a handlebar mustache would be rather devilish. Draw both. I had no way of knowing what would make me say that 14 years from now. All I knew was that 14 years from now, I would know this day was coming. So maybe I should do what I said. If that future in 2036 was necessary, then maybe a world where Kurisu was released from her electronic prison was necessary too. No matter how hard the path would be, I had to take the first step. And what I need you right now is that first step.
ヒアジョさん
Yajo,
何
but
アメリカに帰る前
can
に
you help me a little more before you go back to
付き合
America?
ってもらえるか
Hmm.
そうね
Okay. But on
条
two
件が2
conditions.
つあるわ
条件
Conditions.
1つは
First,
このタイ
You let
ム
me
マ
look
シ
up
ンを
that
調
time
べさせて
machine.
ほしいってこと
もう一つは
and second,
あなたのこと
you're going to
オ
let
カ
me
リン
call
さ
you
んって呼ば
Okarin.
せてもらう
You call me Maho.
あなたは私をマホって呼びなさい
No. First name basis.
悪くない条件
I
だ
don't
と
think
思
they're
うけ
too
ど
much, do you? There's an innocent smile on her face, the likes of which I'd never seen before.
分かった
Alright,
魔法
Maho.
よろしく
Thanks,
Okarin-san.
Okarin. Cute. When she put her small hand against mine, I felt a solid warmth.
どうしたんだにゃ
What is it, Okarin?
一度帰
Why
った
didn't you
後
call
に
me back
わざわ
after I
ざ呼び
already
出すやん
left?
て
Good question. Why are you back here, Ferris? Love you, but what's going on now?
そうだよ。
That's
僕なん
right.
てそれほ
I
ど
don't live
近
that
いわ
close
けじ
to
ゃないんだ
here.
からさ。
If you wanted to talk about
話がある
something,
な
you
ら
should
帰
have
る
said
前
so
に
before I
言ってほしかっ
left.
たのだぜ。
And they called all the lab members back after they left to go home, and they weren't happy.
それで
So what did you want to talk about,
オカリ
Okarin?
ン LINE や電話じ
Is
ゃ
it something you
ダメな
couldn't
お
tell us
話
on
ですか
9 on the phone?
ああ
Yeah. But first,
その前に
Suzuha.
鈴葉
何
What?
一つ聞きたい
I have a question.
お前は俺のこ
What
と
do
を
you think about me?
どう思っている
Really? In front of everyone? Damn, dude.
どうと
What
は
do you mean?
ちょ、オ
Wait,
カリン。
Okarin,
まさか
you can't.
いくらオカリン
Even
で
for
も
you, Okarin.
鈴葉は
I'm not
あげられ
giving
な
you
いよ。
Suzuha.
お父さん
Daddy
は
won't
認めま
allow
せ
it.
ん。
Ever.
ダメ。絶対。
Never. I ignored Daru, who seemed to have gotten the wrong idea completely and turned back towards Suzuha. As you fucking should, Okabe.
お前はこの半年
You've been watching me since
俺のこ
last
とを見
summer.
ていたはずだ
What have you been thinking about me?
その上で
I want your honest opinion.
心の中ではどう思っていた
言っていいのか
You're sure?
あ
Yeah.
正直言うと
To be honest,
腹が立
you've
って
been
しょう
pissing
が
me
なかった
off. Fair, understandable. Have a nice day. Yeah, that was honest. I chuckled.
私や父さんや
It's not
ま
just
ゆ姉
me,
さんだけじゃな
Dad
い
and Big Sis Mayu.
ルミ姉
It's
さん
Big
も
Sis.
ルカ兄さんもカガリも
It's Big Sis Rumi, and Brother Luca and Kagari.
未来の世界では
In the future,
みん
everyone
なみんな
suffers.
辛い思いをして
They
い
don't
る
even know if they're going to be alive tomorrow.
明日は生きてい
They
るか
might
ど
die
うかもわから
horribly,
ない
like my mom did.
母さんみたいに
Well, we know how
無残に
Luca
殺さ
dies
れ
for
てしま
better
うか
or
もしれない
worse.
そんな世界で
And they're trying their best to
必死になって生きて
survive
るんだ。
anyway.
それなのに
But all you do is
弱音
whine
ば
and
かり
act
吐い
like
て
you're the only person in the
自
world
分
with
ばかりが
problems.
辛いようなことを言って
I mean, he is baby. He is young, so understandable. When she started talking, she didn't stop. Yeah, he opened the can of worms, faced the consequences. And this must have been building up for a long time.
もちろん
Of course,
おか
I
り
know
おじ
you've
さん
been
が
through
辛
a
い
lot.
経験をしてき
I
た
know
こと
you've
は知って
suffered
る
again and again until you
何
finally
度も
couldn't
何度
go
も苦しい目
on.
にあってそれで立ち上がれなくなったことそれでも
But you're already
私たちにはおかりおじさんしか頼れる人がいないんだ
But you're all we have, Uncle Green. She looked down, clenched her fists, and grit her teeth.
私や父さんに
If
代わ
I
りが
could take
務ま
your
るのなら
place, I'd do
どん
anything.
なことでも
No
や
matter
る
what I had to go through,
どんな
no
辛
matter
い
how
思
much
いを
it
しよ
hurt,
うが
I'd do it.
どんな苦しみが待ち構えていようがそれでも
鈴葉。
Suzuha.
だけど
But there's
私た
nothing
ち
we
じゃ
can
どうしよう
do.
もできないか
You're the
ら
only one who can do anything.
おかりおじさんじゃなければどうにもできないから
You thought a horseshoe mustache was a handlebar mustache? I see. Biker handlebar mustache. I see, I see. Interesting. We are learning about facial hair in this stream. She suddenly looked up, and I could see on her face all the complicated feelings she'd been holding back.
それなのにおじさん
But
と
all
来
you
た
do
ら
is talk about how it's
無理だとか
impossible,
できない
or you
とか
can't do
勘
it,
弁してく
or
れ
you
と
don't
か
want to.
そんな
You
弱音
just
ばかりで
whine, and you won't
話を
even
聞いてく
listen
れよう
to
とさえ
me.
しない 父さんの手前だ
I
から言
never
わ
said
なかったけ
anything
ど
because Dad was around.
私は
But
そん
you've
なおじ
always
さんの
pissed
態度
me
に
off.
ずっと腹が立ってた。
Slap him.
本当に
A lot of the
ぶん
time.
殴ってや
I
り
just
たいくら
wanted
い
to
だった
punch
よ。
you. Yeah, do it. Take it out on him. I'm just kidding. It felt good to get that off her chest. It probably felt good to get that off her chest. I can read.
スザ
Suza,
何
huh?
もそこ
You
ま
don't
で
need to
言
go
わんで
that
も
far.
そうだにゃ。
Yeah, that's right.
Ocarina
Ocarina understands,
Nia.
Nia. I did understand. Yeah. I understood that something had to be done.
だったら
Then why
そう
not
して
do
も
it?
らおうか。
そうする
Do what?
殴りたかったんだろう。
You wanted to hit me, right?
だったら
Then hit me.
殴ってみればいい。
Okay, listen. It's one thing for me to say it, but not for you to say it, Okabe. Maybe he does need a good smack to his head. Well, maybe I need a smack to the head too. Maybe I'll start being able to word again. You wouldn't want to get hit by Suza, huh? Coward. Huh?
でも
What?
遠慮はいらない。
No need to hold back. Suza, huh? Stop it. Ocarina's.
いいんだ。
It's fine,
Mayuri.
Mayuri. This was my way of settling things. With Suza, huh? With the future. And with myself.
オカリンさん
Ocarina.
もしか
Is
し
that
て
is
そう
that
いう
your
性癖
fetish?
だった
Then I
ら
guess I
ごめん
won't
けど
stop you, but imagine the title resets again after you get it. That would actually be funny. But since that would be really funny, I don't think that's gonna happen. She is a highly trained lethal being, and like unless she is actually aiming to physically harm you, I don't think she would actually hurt you. She would probably refrain. Like she's smart.
本当にいいんだな。
You're really sure? He might be knocked out, though. He might be passed out. We'll see what happens, I guess. Suzuha took a step toward me.
あ
Yeah. I was ready.
じゃあ
Alright.
本気で行く。
This is gonna hurt. Okay, yeah, she's not gonna hold back. Okay, rest in peace, Okabe. It was nice knowing you.
あ。え
Huh? No,
あ
wait.
あ、いや。
You can go
待て
easy.
少しは手加減を。
Yeah.
ハグボア。
The sound he made.
ハグボア。
I love that you can replay the lines. That's so funny. I love that. Killer Bean Forever 2008. Oh boy. Mama does get so many props for that. Yeah, 10 out of 10. She hit me hard enough to knock me across the room. He got the Makoto Danganronpa treatment, I guess.
悪かった。
Sorry.
少し
I
力
guess I
が
put a
入り
little
すぎ
too
た。
much force into it.
今すごい音
I
したわ
just heard a
よ。
really loud crunch. Are you okay, Okuri? Okay, got Angel beats in so many. Norway's the one, yeah, so true. He is built like a stick, yeah. Everyone ran over and looked down at me. He's dead. For real, for real. Rest in peace, Okabe. He will never save the future now. Yeah, that hurt a lot. It probably did more damage to my brain than reading Steiner the Time Leaps. So true. But...
Okabe-san.
Okabe, you're alive? It woke me up. No, I just had to do what I could. Yep. Suzaha, hit him again. Please. Hopefully knock him out this time, frankly.
おかりん
Okarin. I'm not mocking that laugh. Mama got this. In this world line, Okabe dies in 2011 due to his hubris. So true, so true. Yep, she did reset him to Chini mode. We have HOUOUIN KYOUMAAA back again. Is that Kyouma? Yes. Okari.
違うぞ
No,
前
Mayuri.
より包囲
I am HOUOUIN
Kyouma.
Kyouma. Yes. My name is HOUOUIN KYOUMAAA. It's been so long since we've said this. Gosh dang it, Okabe. I think that technically happened before, but I guess he needed an excuse. I mean, yeah. Lab Mem number 001, the founder of this lab, the man who longs for chaos, the mad scientist who will upend the ruling hierarchy of the world, HOUOUIN KYOUMAAA! Lukako! Right. Bring me my white lab coat. Right, Kyouma. Kyouma is back, nya. Dad, what is this? Journey time. You did it, Suzuha. Okurin's finally ready to fight. Here you are, Kyouma. I love that Luca and Ferris are like so down. Indeed. I put my lab coat on for the first time in a very long time, and I've been sitting on the shelf in the back so long that it smelled a little moldy. Oh dear. That's right. This is it. This is my holy silver armor. At this moment, HOUOUIN KYOUMAAA has awakened. He has revived from his long slumber. Thoughts. Alright, Maho has not. Yep. Hi, Maho. Don't mind. This is normal. Oh yeah, Kaguri's also not been exposed to this. Kaguri and Maho were seeing HOUOUIN KYOUMAAA for the first time, and they were shocked into silence. As they should, to be frank. What just happened? Did that punch drive him crazy? Joke's on you, he was already crazy. I remember now. Huh? HOUOUIN KYOUMAAA. Mama used to talk about him all the time. She said that someday, HOUOUIN KYOUMAAA would come back to life and bring light to our future. I'm having a really hard time keeping up with all of this. Fair. Understandable. You. The lolly. No. You. I'm talking to you. What? You're not talking to me, are you? You're the only lolly here, aren't you? Oh god. Who are you calling a lolly? I give you the honor of being Lab Mem 009. You shall be my servant and participate in our operations. Why do I have to be your servant? And what the hell is a lab member? Just like the name suggests, it means you're an official member of this lab. You must feel very honored. Honored? Next, Kaguri Shina. But you're Lab Mem 010. Got it? Okay. Wait, Kyouma. We don't get to be lab members now? Ferris and Lukako seemed upset. Come to think of it, I made them lab members in the Alpha World line, but not this one. I never told you, but of course you're already lab members. Lab meowmbers, so true. Lukako is 006, Ferris is 007, and Suzuha is 008. Got it? Yes, sir. Cute. Nyang. Nyang. That was a hard one. Yeah, I don't quite understand, but Roger. Wait, Okarin. 004 and 005. Those two numbers are reserved for Kurisi and Moeka. To be honest, I didn't like the idea of leaving Moeka as an official lab member. But in order to reach a future where that could be true, I would have to face the past right now. That was my decision. Now that everyone's here, I have something to declare. As of today, January 31st, 2011, we will begin a new operation. Our goal is to annihilate the coming future, to overturn the future of the world itself. That is our goal. Got it? Motekida.
俺だ
It's me.
これより
We will now
俺た
execute
ちは
our new
新たなるオペレ
operation.
ーションを実行に移す未来の俺は言っ
My
た
future self told me that Steins Gate waits beyond several futures.
シュタインこれから導く
Even
未
if
来
the future that awaits us
た
is a
とえ
path
茨
of
の道だと
thorns,
しても
it will not be useless.
分かっている
I know. It will take an
俺たちの
incredible
目指
amount
す
of
扉
time to reach the door we seek.
そこにたどり着くにはいかなる機関
Many different
俺
organizations
た
may
ちを阻止
rise
せん
up
と
to
立ち
stop
塞がるか
us,
もしれないそれでも俺は
but I'll start over as many times
何
as
度
it
だってやり
takes.
直してやるさ健闘を祈ってくれ
Pray for my success.
L
L. Sai Kong.
考え
Hungry. Thoughts. Freaking BGM. After I finished my phone call, I realized that everyone was staring at me. Good. Please don't look at me that way. I'm embarrassed too. Mm-hmm. What did I just see?
これは
This is...
いわば
I know.
そう
It's like a ceremony.
儀式のようなものだ
Sure. The ceremony, yeah. That's it. The ceremony. Right. Yes, this is the ceremony. A ceremony to stop my fears from getting the best of me again. Wait, Okarin. Don't tell me you did that around Kurisu. Well, then I won't tell you anything, Maho. Duh. I'm not Okabe, I'm Kyouma. Are you messing with me?
マホタンあん
Mahoto,
ま突っ込む
don't
のや
give
め
her
て
too
あげ
much
て
of a hard
オ
time.
カリンもまだ
He's
模
still
索
trying
し
to
てる
figure
最
things
中だから
out. Wow, so this is Kyouma HOUOUIN, huh? That's right. He's the mad scientist of madness. Mad scientist of madness, I love that. And the reincarnation of an ancient alchemist, yeah? He's also the master of Seishin Zama school. Wow. Sorry, Dad. I'm having trouble keeping up with this. Fair. Please don't stare at me like that. It's breaking my heart. So, what exactly is the plan?
まず
First,
最初に
let me make something clear.
俺
Our
たちが
final
最終
goal
的
is
に
a
目指す
future
の
where
は
the Third World War
第
never
三次世界大戦
occurs.
の起こらない未来だ
Suzuha looks concerned for Okabe. As she should, because, like, she literally just hit him a little too hard, and all of a sudden, he's completely different. It's like, okay, maybe I really did hit him too hard for real, for real. Should we take him to the hospital? Just like I told myself a second ago, I didn't expect to get to the world line we wanted, the Steins Gate world line, immediately. Just like I had to build up the beta world line little by little, I'd have to go through many pasts and many futures. And to do that, I first had to write this world line's future. This world had lost Kurisu, and the price for that was dire indeed. But I wouldn't let the future that awaited us be so full of suffering and pain. I wouldn't let it happen. Everything had to begin with that. Even if the future before us would end up in never having happened at all. That was my responsibility, since I had chosen this world. I told you all that I've been through several world line changes since coming to the beta world line, right? Given how deep this shit goes, sometimes it wouldn't surprise me Okabe was actually a reincarnation of the historical Hohenheim or something. I mean, who knows? Definitely not I. First, we need to remove the cause of those changes. What is it? Yeah. Kurisu Makise's laptop and hard drive, and her memories that are stored in Amadeus. The time machine paper contained on the hard drive and all of her memories relating to it. All of those world line changes. It was safe to assume that they'd been caused by Stratfor and others fighting over them. Thus, the final goal of our operation is to destroy Kurisu's laptop and hard drive, and delete her memory data. You can't delete Kurisu's memory data. You can't. Are you serious? Yeah. But those memories are all we have left of her. They're all we have to prove that she was ever here. I don't want to delete them. I knew how she felt. Until a few days ago, I would have agreed. Then you're okay with them being misused? That's not. On my way to this world line, I saw her memories start wars again and again. And many people have been caught up in that. Kagari was just one of them. Dots. What happened to Kagari in the past several years? That probably hadn't changed in this world line. Which meant that there was just another tragedy caused by the Pandora's box that was Kurisu's memories. And I've experienced that world of data too. I've experienced its cold. That's right. I knew. I knew how cold that world was. It was a world inside a tiny box with no past, present, or future. Do you want to leave Kurisu in that cold, dark world forever? We've got proof that she existed right here. I put my finger to my forehead. We've got what we remember, and we've got the chance to build a peaceful world where a third world war may never happens. Isn't that all the proof we need that she was alive? Maho fell silent as the whole group turned toward her. That's really cheesy. If Kurisu heard that, she'd laugh at you. I'm sure. But maybe it's a cheesy cliche because it's true. Yes. Maho's dark frown became a smile. I'll do what you want me to. Thank you. Daru, you've got Kurisu's laptop and hard drive, right? Yep, I got it from Mahotan and hid it somewhere it wouldn't be found easily. As soon as we're done with Amadeus, destroy them. You're sure? I looked back at Maho, and this time she nodded. Yeah, but let me do it. Okay. The problem now is Amadeus. Maho, do you still have access to Amadeus' server? Yeah, I should. Hachida, can I borrow your computer? Oh, sure. Just a second. Daurian motioned for her to stop with one hand, then started typing something into the keyboard. What are you doing, Daurian? Just some tricks to make sure our IP isn't tracked. Okay,
オッケー
go
ど
ahead.
うぞ
Maho took over from Dario at the computer.
おかしいわ。
That's strange.
アクセスできな
I
い。
can't access it. Oh dear.
どういうことだ？
What do you mean?
パスワードが間違って
You mean
る
you
っ
got
て
the
こ
wrong
とは
password?
そんなミスす
I
るわけ
wouldn't
な
make
いで
that
しょ。
mistake.
今まで
Do you know
何度
how
も
many
入力
times
してき
I've
たんだ
entered
か
that
ら。
password? Maho tried the password a few more times, but blah, 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 but she still couldn't access the server.
私のア
Looks
ク
like
セ
my
ス権
access
限
has
自体
been
が停止され
revoked.
ちゃってるみたい。どういうことなの
What's
これ。
going on with this?
ちょっと
I'll
教
call the
授に電話してみる。
Moa took out her phone and called Dr. Lux. She put the phone next to her ear for a moment, then frowned and put it down.
ダメ。
No good.
繋がらない。
He's not picking up. She tried calling Dr. Rias too, but that didn't work either.
もう
Jeez.
どうなってる
What's
のよ
going on
こ
with this thing?
やはり
I guess it
そう
wouldn't be
簡単
that
にはい
easy,
かない
huh?
か。
If Maho's access rights had been taken away, that must have meant someone was about to do something.
別のアプローチ方法を
Let's try
探って
another
みよう。
approach.
ビクトル・コンドリア大
Can you
学の
hack the
サーバー
Victor
に
Conjure University
ハッキングできるか？
servers?
オッケー
Okay,
Chut, you
just
tell
give
me.
me a second.
簡単に言ってるけど
You're making it sound
うちの
easy.
研究
The
所の
lab
セキュ
security
リ
is
テ
pretty
ィ結構
tight.
厳しいわよ。
I like that all the V's make out the V and then the I and the K, like all the letters. It's very special.
大丈夫だ。
Don't worry,
なんたってダル
Dota's
は
a super hacker.
スーパーハッカーだからな。
それを言うなら
You mean a
スー
hacker,
パーハッカー
man.
な
He had broken certain security in just 20 hours. I had absolute faith in him. Dottie and Maho were staring at the screen and discussing something. He was probably asking her for details to make his hacking more efficient. I needed to do what I could while I waited. I went back into the development room and opened up a box that had just arrived that day. Mary looked over my shoulder into the box. Wow, it's a microwave. Mm.
唐揚げは解凍
I'm
し
not
ないか
using
ら
it to
な。
heat up your fried chicken, okay?
残
Too bad.
念。みん
I
な
was
がお
gonna
腹
make
空
some
いた
juicy
ら
chicken number one for
ジューシー唐
everybody
揚
if
げ
they were
ナンバーワン
hungry.
を振る舞ってあげようと思ったのに。
Honestly, I kind of saw that coming too, given that like I noticed before Mayuri popped up that the microwave wasn't under the table. So first, I need to reconstruct the phone wave. Galbanan time. After that, I'd have Maho help me make the time leap machine. On my way back from the future, I'd memorized every bit of how it worked, so it didn't take very long.
橋田さん、
Hashida,
あなた
you're
すごい
amazing.
わ。
It was about 30 minutes later when I heard Maho's odd voice. How did he mess up a fake word? Easily, obviously.
やったのか？
Did you get it?
僕にかかれ
For
ば
a top
これく
quality
らい
hacker
朝
like
飯
me,
前
this is
だぜ
nothing.
スーパーハッカー
The
の名
name
は
Super Hacker isn't just for show, huh?
じゃあ早速
Alright, see if you can find
Amadeus
Amadeus's
のデータを探してくれ。
data.
待って、今
Hold
開
on,
いて。
I'm opening it now. I saw it and looked at the screen as I listened to the mouse click.
ない。
It's gone.
アマデウスも
Amadeus
クリ
Chris's
スの
memories.
記憶データも
All the folders that should be
あっ
there
た
are
はずのフォ
gone.
ルダからなくなってるわ。
すでに持ち
So
出さ
someone
れた
took it
と
already?
いうことか。待てよ。
Wait. I unlocked my phone and looked up the phone's... Let me try that again. I unlocked my phone and called up the home screen. Amadeus icon was still there.
なあ、
Hey,
このアプリから
do you think you could
ア
access
マデウスに
Amadeus
ア
from
クセ
this
スできる
app?
と思うか？
Maho looked over at my phone.
どうかしら。
I don't know.
アマデウス
If
のデータそ
Amadeus's
のもの
data
が
is
サーバーに残
stopped
って
from
な
the
いなら
server,
さすが
I
に
don't
無理
think
なん
it
じゃ。
would work.
試してみて。
Give it a try.
どうしたの？
What's wrong?
いざ繋がった時
I
の
was
こと
just
を考え
thinking
る
about
と
what I
な
would do if it connected.
慎重に
I
いか
need
な
to
いと
be。careful.
そうね。
That's right.
誰かに見
Someone
られ
might
てい
be
るかもし
watching
れ
you.
ない。
ん
Hmm.
どうした？ダル。
What is it, Daru?
ここ
Look,
さらに鍵
there's
が
a
かけ
folder
られ
with
てる
another
フォル
lock
ダがあ
on
る
it.
どれ？
Which one? Mahone leaned forward and looked at the monitor.
変ね。
That's strange.
こんなフォルダ
That didn't used to be
今ま
there.
でなかったわ。
かなり厳重なセキュ
It's
リティ
pretty
がかかっ
heavily
てるっぽい
secured. Way more
さ
than
っ
the
きの
rest
と
of
は
the
火に
system.
ならんくらい
アマデウスは
Was that where
そっち
Amadeus
に
was
移されたの
moved?
かしら。でも一体
But
誰
who
が
would do that?
そんな権
Only
限を持っているのは
The
レスキネ
only
ン教授
Dr.
ぐらいよ。
Lexinen has that level of authority.
レスキネン教授
Maybe
が
Dr.
裏の顔があっ
Lexinen
た
is up
か
to something and we don't
あ
know
るい
it.
は
Or maybe something
教授の
happened
身
to
に何
him.
かあったか
Neither possibility was appealing.
誰
Daru,
その
we'll leave
フォ
that
ルダ
folder
は一旦
alone
保有だ
for now.
次は
Next, I
ストラト
want
4のサー
you
バ
to
ーに
hack
ハックを仕
Stratfor's
掛けてくれ
servers.
ス
Huh?
トラト4って
Stratfor?
あの
Why?
なんでストラト 4?
おそらく
They're probably
今
involved
回
in
の
all
騒
of
動の
this.
一端を担ってい
You've
る
done
は
it
ずだ
once before. Can you do it again?
以前ハックしたことがあるから簡単だろ
つかオカリン
Wait,
なんでそんな
how
こと
did you
ま
know
で知ってんの
are you
エスパ
psychic?
ーかよ
I mean, sort of, I guess. Not really psychic, more of was literally in the future and has come back, but yeah, just a time traveler.
俺を誰だと思っている
Who do you think I
狂気のマ
am?
ッドサイ
The
エン
mad
ティス
scientist
ト
of
は
madness
全
knows
ての
all.
見通しだ
Give me a sec, he said as he typed something else into the computer.
ストラト4の
Stratfor
サーバー
servers.
は
Got it. I could tell he'd done it once before. This time he got through a lot faster than it took him to break into the university.
そのアマデウス
So you just want me to
シス
find
テ
data
ム
on
の
the
データを
Amadeus
探せばいいんだ
system?
よね
ちょっと待って。
Hold on. Mahone leaned her tiny body forward again and took the mouse from Daru. She clicked on an icon. The screen filled with some kind of text.
これ
This is a
レポートだ。
report. She opened several more files, but since they were written in English, we couldn't read them.
これは
What is this?
一体
What are these
何のレ
reports
ポートな
about?
んだ
実験よ。
Experiments.
ストラト4が
Stratfor
行
was
っていた人
experimenting
体
on
実験。
humans.
人体
Experimenting
実験
on humans?
どうやら
It looks like
ストラト
Stratfor
4
was
は
working
記
on
憶の
human
移植
memory
実験を行っていたみたい
transplantation.
ね。誰かの記憶デ
They
ータ
did a
を
lot of experiments trying to transfer memories from one person to
い
another.
くつも行っているわ。
Memory transplant experiments. That was.
最初こそ
They started with
動物を使ってい
animals,
たようだ
but
け
by
ど
the end they were using live
最
humans.
終的には生身の人間で行われてる。被験者には
They used people with no
身寄りのない人を
relatives as
利用したみたい。
subjects, kids, adults,
大人
people
か
from
ら
different
子供
ethnic
まで
backgrounds.
人種も様々。
She looked down at the report again.
どうした
What is it?
まだ何かあ
Is
る
there
のか
something else?
どうやら彼ら
It looks like they're about to start a new
記憶移植に
memory
関する
transplant
新
experiment.
しい実験に着手しようとしてるみたい。
It was safe to assume the experiments had something to do with the time machine. They were trying to force open the black box of Kurisu's memories in order to gain information about the time machine. Even if they couldn't get the password for the laptop from Amadeus, if they could access her memories directly, it would give them everything they needed. It was just like what had been done to Kagari in the last world line, but on a more advanced level.
とにかく今は
The priority now
ク
is
リスの
finding
記憶デ
Kurisu's
ータを
memory
探すのが
data.
先決だ
Daru,
誰
think it's there.
データはありそうか
You took the mask back from Ho inside.
いや
Nope,
ないね
no luck.
それらしい
I'm
もん
not
は見
seeing
当たらな
anything.
い
What was going on? Hadn't Stratfor stolen the Amadeus data from Victor Condria?
一番怪し
That
いのは
university server
や
is
っぱ
the
大
most
学のサーバー
suspicious.
じゃね
The one with the
あの
locked
プロテクト
folder,
がかかってたとこ
which meant that they were working without stealing the data. Did they hack it like we did? Or
どうする
what's the plan?
魔法を信じよ
We'll believe Maho.
う誰
Daru, can you
信
get
任
us
できる
in?
か
できるけど
I can.
これはち
But
ょっ
it's
と
gonna
骨
be
が
a
折れると
pain.
思われ
どれくらいかかり
How
そう
long is it gonna take?
わからんけど
I couldn't
下
tell
手したら
you. Might take
ま
more
るっ
than
と半
12
日以上はか
hours.
かるかも
The daughter said so. It must have been really heavily protected.
しかも途中
And
で
if
ハ
they
ッキン
catch
グ
me
かけて
hacking
るのが
halfway
バレた
through,
ら
it's all
全
over.
部王じゃん
We needed to hack in to get rid of Kurisu's memory data. And until Daughter finished, we needed to keep Stratford distracted. The problem was, how?
アマデウスと通信
What
している
happens to my
最中は
location data when I'm talking
こ
to
っちの位置情報は
Amadeus?
どうなるんだ。
全部把握され
It
る
all
わ
gets recorded. Of course. The people
ア
who
マ
have
デウス
got
のプロ
Amadeus
グラムを
program
持っ
can
てい
see
る連
it.
中にもね
I thought so.
問題は
The question is,
アマデウスに
did
つ
I
ながるかど
contact
う
her or
か
not? First, I needed to see if the app even worked anymore. If it did, I had an idea.
真帆、
Maho,
一つ
can I ask you something crazy?
無茶な頼みをしていいか。
A full day had passed since the operation began. I will never know what that crazy question was, unfortunately, damn. The others still hadn't managed to break the lock on that folder. Thankfully, they hadn't detected him yet, but that didn't mean we were safe. While Dahlia did his work, I finished my own and then handed the rest off to Maho. My actions might have changed the future already, but we still had to do our jobs. Suzaha had her arms crossed, expression stern. She had been that way for a while. At a glance, she looked calm, but I could see her tapping her arm with her index finger.
おじさん
Uncle,
私たちに
is
で
there
きるこ
nothing I
とは
can
ない
do?
の
You were finally ready to stop the Third World War. It had to bother her that there was nothing she could do. It had to be stopped as soon as possible, but all she could do now was wait. She was frustrated and on edge. But that was true of everyone else.
もう少しだ。
Just wait a little longer.
ダルも真帆
Daru and Maho are doing their
頑張ってくれ
best.
ている。
Once Maho completed what I'd asked for, there would be something that we could do too.
フェイリス、甘い
I'm
も
gonna
の
go
とか
get us
買って
something
くる
sweet to
にゃ
eat, Nya.
疲れた時に
Sweets are
甘い
great
も
when
の
you're
が一番
tired,
にゃ
Nya.
それじゃあ
Then I'll
僕
go
も
too. Just as the two of them stood up, the development room's curtain opened. Maho flinched a little as everyone stared at her, but she quickly smiled. Then she thought better of it and tried to look more serious.
まったく
Sheesh.
大
You
変
didn't
な
have
こと
to
を
ask
い
me
っ
to
ぺんに
do
頼
all
ま
this
ない
at
でよね
once, did you?
すまん。
Sorry.
それで
So,
終わっ
is
た
it
のか。
done?
言われたことは
I
一
did what you
応
told me
ね
to, I guess. The microwave in the back was connected to a different headset than the one I'd seen last year. It was the same one she'd used to take my memories. That's why she'd been able to finish this in such a short time. A time leap machine. So it was done then. Now, even if I had the time leap from the future, I could go back to 48 hours from now.
それからこっちも
And this too. She offered me a pair of smartphones. These gadgets would be our secret weapons in the upcoming battle. I had Maho make them too. They used a simple AI to create a pseudo-response algorithm that would deceive our opponents.
さすがだな。
Wow.
こん
I
な
can't
短
believe
時
you
間に
managed to make an AI in such
AI
a
を
short
作るなんて。
time.
自分で頼んで
You
お
were
いて
the one who
よく
told me
言
to
う
do
わ
it. Her face looked exhausted. She made what? AI that do things. I don't know.
アマデウスで使っ
I
てい
had
る
the
応
voice
声ソフト
software
が
I
あっ
used
た
for
から
Amadeus, so I was
流
able to
用し
build
て
it
開発
quicker.
期間を短縮したの
Yeah, that was the crazy question. Hey, could you take a time leap machine and this AI? Thanks.
それにこれは
And this isn't anything as
AI なんて
complicated
大
as
層
an
な代物じゃ
AI.
ないこんなものでご
You
ま
really
かせ
think
る
you
の
can
かし
fool
ら
her with this? It's
相手
Kurisi
は
we're talking about
クリスな
here.
のよ
少しの時間だけでも
We
騙
just
せ
have
れ
to
ばそれでいい
deceive her
ん
for
だ
a。short time.
ダ
All we
ルの
need
ハッ
to
キン
do
グ
is
から
keep their eyes off of
連中の
Daru's
目をそらせれ
hacking.
ばそれでいい。
The goal was just to keep Stratford confused. We didn't need to hold a long conversation. We just hook it up for a short time and end the call shortly afterward. It was time to get started. But first... I hit the send button on a message I already typed to Moeka Kiryu. Just do it like we discussed. Once it was done, I turned toward the group.
では
I will now explain
作
the
戦の概要を説
operation.
明する
Thank you. Suzuha, Mayuri, Varys, Lukako. I offered them the phones that I just been given by Maho.
4人には
I'm going to
2
have
人
you
1組
pair
になっ
off.
てもらうそうしたらこのス
Then I
マホを
want
持
you
っ
to
て
take these phones and move
都内
around
を
the
動き回
city.
ってくれペア同士はできるだ
It
け
would be
離れた
best
方が
to
いい
have the pairs as far as apart as
片方の
possible.
組は
One
中
could
央
take the
線
Shuo
沿線
line, and the other can take the
もう片方は
Yamanote line.
山手線沿線ということ
I
にしよ
see
う
you.
お互いに連絡を取り
Stay
合
in
いつつ
touch and use the app on the
スマホ
phone.
にイン
It's
ストール
called
されている
Amadeus.
アマデウスというアプリを立ち上げてくれ
While Daru was doing his hacking, I left Akihabara and tried to contact Amadeus from Tokyo Station. And it had worked. Kurisu had responded. I cut it off instantly, but I was sure of it. The app was still working. And this plane was going to use it.
立ち上げて
What do we do once it's
どうするの？
running?
アマデウスは
Amadeus is an AI
マキセ
made
ク
from
リ
the
スという
memories
人
of a
物
girl
の記
named
憶を元に
Kurisu
作られ
Makise.
た人工俺たちは
We're going to deceive
今
her.
からそいつを騙す
That's right. Our goal was to deceive Kurisu. When we contacted Amadeus, the enemy would know where we were. My plan was to take advantage of that fact.
アマデウスを立ち上
When
げ
you
る
boot
と
up the
同時に
Amadeus app, it
もう
will
一
start
つの
another
プログラ
program
ムを起動
too.
する
もう一つのプロ
What's
グ
the
ラム
other program,
な
Mia?
んだにゃそこの S って
Can
マ
you
ーク
hit
の
the
あるアイ
icon
コン
with
を
the
タップ
S
し
right
てみて
there?
もらえるこれかにゃ
This, Nya? Ferris tapped her phone.
もしもし
Hello,
俺だ
it's me. Rintaro, question mark? Wow, it's Okarin's voice.
話しかけてみてくれ
Try talking to it.
今日はどうしたんだ
What's up, Nya?
特に用はない
Nothing really. I just wanted to talk to you a little.
話がしたくなってな
すごい
Wow.
自動的に答えてくれるんですね
What I'd asked Maho to make was a simple program that detected words and phrases in a conversation and replied with set patterns. You could call it an artificial non-intelligence.
オカリンさんと
It's
私
a bot
のボ
made
ッ
by
ト
Okarin and myself.
名付け
We
てサ
call
リエ
it
リよ
Salieri. Thanks to the famous movie, Salieri was known as a lesser man with an inferiority complex. But in reality, he was a talented composer. Okay, but GPT is so true. It felt a bit rude to the real Salieri to give his name to something like this, but there wasn't time to worry about that now.
アマデウスを起動すると
Once you activate Amadeus,
俺たち
our
の
bot
ボ
is
ッ
set
ト
to
が
automatically
自
respond
動
to
で返
it.
事をしてくれるようになっている
つまり
In other words,
相手に
they can make
今
them think
喋っ
that
ている
it's you
のは
talking.
岡部さんだって思わせるということですか
そういうことだ
That's right. Which meant Amadeus would think I was where they were. I would have liked to have had more terminals, but since Amadeus needed the cell phone to be registered with its systems, there weren't many I could use. All I had were my phone and Maho's, but for a short time period it would be enough. Of course, Maho's phone had her own version of Salieri. And then there was the message I sent to Moeka's Ryan. The plan was for her to spread information indicating that Maho and I had Kurisu's laptop and hard drive. Even if they were doing the memory experiments, they still wouldn't want someone else getting their hands on them. Sooner or later they'd pick up on that information and come after me with everything they had. Amadeus was in their hands. If Amadeus's location data told them I was there, they would come looking, but we wouldn't be there at all. And then they'd get a call from someplace completely different and head there. The plan was to keep them occupied with that, and keep their eyes off of the server hacking.
以上が
That is your
今回の
mission.
任務となる
Everyone nodded.
くれぐれも言っておく
I'll
が
say again. You must absolutely not make contact with Amadeus for an extended period of time.
それから
And once you
アマデ
hang
ウスを
up,
切った後
you need to move.
すぐにその
If
場を
something
移動するこ
happens,
と
call me immediately.
何かあったらすぐに連絡をよこすこと
But isn't... whatever.
これだけは絶対に
You
守っ
need
て
to
く
do
れ
these things, no matter what.
わか
Got
った
it?
な
私は
What
どう
should
す
I
れば
do?
いいのかな
Kakari raised her hand, hesitantly.
君は連中に顔も
They
知ら
know
れて
your
いる。
face. You should stay
こ
here.
こから動かない方がいい。
でも
But I want
私
to
だっ
help
て
too.
何か役に
I don't want
立
to
ちたい
do
よ。
nothing while Mom
ママ
and
やみん
everyone
なが
else
頑
are
張ってる
helping.
中で一人何もできないでいるなんて
No, this was a
そん
problem.
なの嫌だよ。お願い、オカリン
Please,
さん。
Okarin, let me
私
help
にも手
too.
伝わせて。
I understood how she felt. But I still couldn't put her in danger.
すまないが。
I'm sorry, but
かがりちゃん。
Kakari, Maishi's gonna work hard for you too. So do as Okarin says. Okay,
オカリンの言う通りに。マ
Mama.
マ、わかった。
Okay,
ママが
if you say
そ
so,
う言うな
Mama.
ら。
That seemed to be good enough for her.
おじさん、
Not cool.
Kagariには
Shouldn't we hide
全
Kakari
てが終
somewhere
わるま
until
で
this is all
どこか
over?
に隠れさせておくべきじゃないか。
そうだな。
Maybe.
だが
But where?
どこに？
If we were going to hide her, it would have to be at Lukako's house or Ferris's place.
なんなら
Might not go to my
僕の隠れ家にでも
hideout.
行く？
隠れ家？
Hideout?
お前
You've got a
そんなもの
hideout?
持ってるのか？
バイト用にい
I
く
got
つ
a
か
lot
あ
of
るん
them
よ。
thanks to my job.
そこでよけ
If
れ
you
ば
want
どう
one,
ぞ。
it's yours.
よし。
Alright, then
決まりだ。
it's settled. Are you okay with
かが
that,
りもそれでいい
Kakari?
か？
Yeah,
わかった。
alright. The issue was that I couldn't leave Kagari alone.
私にも何かやらせて
Is
もら
there
えま
something
せ
that
ん
I
か
could do? Yuki.
え？
Huh. I turned around and saw that at some point, Yuki had entered the room.
ゆきさん、
Yuki.
橋田さんからここ
Hashida
の
gave me
鍵
the key to the
預かって
lab.
いたので、
She showed us the key in her hand apologetically.
その
And last
夕
night,
べ
I
橋田
called
さん
him and
に
he
連
seemed
絡
like
した
he
ら
was really busy with
なんだか
something.
大変そうだっ
So I
たから
brought him some
差
snacks.
し入れをと思って持ってきたんだけど、
That's sweet, but I don't trust you. She put the key away, and then she showed us a bag with the logo of local cake shop on it. Of a local cake shop. That makes more sense.
事情はよくわかり
I
ませ
don't
ん
know
が、
what's going on, but
何
it was
かでき
something
る
there
こ
would
と
be
がある
something I
な
could
と思っ
do.
て。
でもさ、
But we
天
can't
飯
get you
を巻き込む
involved.
わけには。
いや、
No,
かがりと
she
一
just
緒に
has
い
to
て
stay
もらう
with
だけだ。
Kagari.
問
It
題
should
ない
be
だろう。
fine. I'm not sure about that, buddy. Before I thought it was maybe Yuki who'd attacked the lab. But looking back, that was wrong. Dude, her arm was the same arm that was injured. Same fucking body. Like, what? She was the woman in the motorcycle suit. There was no need to do something so elaborate. What do you mean? She could have just used the fact that she was in the same circle as Kaguri to invite her somewhere and kidnap her. I guess, but like she was conveniently not present at the time. Like, yeah, exactly. Like she could do right now. I agree, Spooky. There was no need to take the risk of attacking the lab.
すまなかった。
Thanks.
じゃあ、
Alright,
ユキさんは
Yuki, you stay with
かがりと一緒に
Kaguri.
いてくれ。
I don't think this is gonna go well, guys.
すべてが終わるまで
I want you staying at
誰の
Daddy's
隠れ
hideout
家に
until this all blows
身を
over.
潜めてもらうこ
I'm
とに
gonna
な
tell
る。
you where to go.
場所、事情は
Once things calm down,
落ち着い
I'll
たら
tell you
教え
what's
る。
going on.
わかりました。
Alright. Yuki nodded. Now everything was ready. I looked around at everyone in the lab.
じゃあ、
Okay,
Minna.
guys. Now just follow the
あとは
plan
手はず通り
and...
に。
Wait, Okuri.
お別れ、
You don't want to say
言わ
goodbye
なくていい
to
の？
Kurisu?
クリスさんに。
Goodbye. Amadeus was an artificial intelligence. She was an artificial being, not Kurisu herself.
ちゃんと
Say goodbye,
お別
okay?
れして、
So you won't regret
後
it.
悔しないように。
Mayuri handed back the phone I'd just given her.
そ
You're right.
うだな。 悪いがここで少し待
Can
ってい
you
て
all
くれ
just
るか
give me a minute? Okay. I left Mayuri and Lukuko behind and went to Akihabara Bridge. If I made contact with Amadeus, she'd know where I was. That's why I had chosen this place. This was the first place I let Kurisu see how weak I was, back when everything seemed at its darkest. An advertising van passed by, blaring jauntily opera music at a loud volume that clashed horribly with its flashy paint job. I waited for it to get out of the earshot before I tapped the Amadeus icon. She showed herself immediately. It's been a long time.
そうだな
That's right.
私のことなんて忘
I
れた
thought
ん
you
だと思って
forgotten
た
me.
わ
I hadn't forgotten. I could never forget.
いろいろあってな
I've been busy. How many goodbyes had I said no? I'd said goodbye to her again and again. But I never gotten used to it.
それで
So,
今日はどう
what
し
is
た
it
の
today?
君に
There was something I wanted to ask you.
聞きたい
何
But,
ま
you know,
た
tonight
タ
if
イ
you
ムマ
can
シン
make
は
a
作れ
time
るか
machine
って
again.
話冗談
That was a joke.
続けて
Keep going.
もしもだ
Just hypothetically, if you
もしも
could give up your life to save
自分の
friends,
命と引き換え
would
に
you do it?
友達の命を救えるとしたら
I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at.
答えてほしい
Answer me, please. She must have been able to tell from my words and expression that I was serious, because she took on a serious expression as well.
その友達
And
は
that friend's someone important to you,
大切な人
isn't
なのよ
it?
ね
あ
Yeah.
私には
There are
ま
still
だやり
many
たいこ
things
と
I
がたく
want
さ
to
んある
do.
わ
Many things I have
や
to
らなけれ
do,
ばならないこともあるそれでも
even so.
も
If
し
I
も
can
そ
make
の
that
友人
friend
や
and the
周り
people
の人が
around me
幸せに
happy,
なるというのなら
maybe I would.
甘んじて受け入れるかもしれない
Kurisu.
ごめんなさい
Sorry, I never
実
had
際
that
にそんな
happen
目
to
に遭っ
me,
たことないし
so all I can do is
想像でしかな
imagine,
いから
which means I can't give you a real answer, but
それでも
if there was still
一
one
人で
person
も
who would
私のこ
remember
とを
me,
覚えていてくれ
there
る
was
人
still
が
one
いるなら
person who wouldn't forget.
忘れないでいてくれる人がいるならとにかく
Anyway, forget about me. Forget about what happened today and everything that came before.
これまであったことそれが私の
That's what I want.
忘れるもの
I
か
can't forget. Huh? Never.
俺は決して
I will never forget.
忘れない
This was a vow. A vow to get me through the time to come.
岡部さん
Okabe.
つまらないことを
Sorry
聞い
for
て
asking something so silly.
悪かった
No.
それ
I don't
は
mind.
構わないけど
Did something happen?
何かあった
A little smidge bit. Don't worry about it.
いや
No. It's
何でもな
nothing.
いんだ
Nothing.
何でもそれじゃあ
Anyway,
また
bye.
な
He said see you later, basically. Or like see you again. Not just bye. I want to clarify that.
待って
Wait.
え
Huh?
あ
Oh, no.
なんだ
It
か
just felt like I was never
二
going
度
to
と
see
会えな
you
くなりそう
again.
なそんな気がして
Kurisu.
そんなことはないさ
That's not true. Of course,
そうよね
right?
私
I
った
don't
ら
know where I
なん
got
で
that
急にそんな風
idea.
に思ったんだろう
会えるさ
We'll see each other again.
必ず
I promise. Yeah. That's right. This wasn't goodbye forever. I'd see her again. So I won't say goodbye. Not until I see you again.
また
See you again. Yeah. See you again. Oh, you know, World War III, death of one of my best friends, excruciating pain caused by traveling through time. The usual, yeah, it's just normal shit. Kurisu. I've got no idea how long it will take, but I'm going to reach you. I promise. I went back to Mayuri and Lukako and gave them the phone.
お別れは済んだ？
Did you say your goodbyes?
ああ、
Yeah.
それじゃあ
I'm counting on you
頼んだぞ。
guys. Yep. I watched them disappear into the crowded station and went back to the lab. The van was still playing its loud music as it drove down the street. 5 hours had passed since the operation had begun. The only sound in the room was of Daru's fingers on the keys.
どうだ？
How's it going, Daru?
今のところ
It
気
doesn't
づ
look
か
like
れ
they
ては
found
ないと
us.
思われ。
まだかかりそう
Is it
か。
going to take a lot more time?
早くても
At least 3
3時間く
hours.
らいは。
I guess it wasn't going to be easy after all. Daru must have been exhausted, but he was still working. Mayuri and the others were sending me regular messages. Mayuri had paired off with Lukako and Ferris with Suzuha. Since they knew each other so well, they were doing a great job of working together and running around Tokyo. Suzuha told me that she'd seen shady-looking people several times, and Moeka had sent me a message saying that they'd taken the bait. For now, the operation was succeeding without anyone getting hurt. But I didn't expect it to last forever. I wanted to get Kurisu's memory data deleted as fast as possible, but in the end, my only choice was to rely on Daru.
すまないな。
Sorry
Daru.
about this, Daru.
それは言わない
You
約
promised
束
not to
だ
say
ろ。
that, buddy. I remembered how he looked 25 years in the future. Even in that far distant future, he was still my friend.
オカリンさん、
Okarin,
ちょっといい？
can I have a second? Until a little bit ago, Moha had been resting to recover from her exhaustion, but at some point she must have gone up.
どうした？
What is it?
これ、
Look at
Me.
this. She handed me a stack of papers. It was a printout of Stratfor's report. She must have been looking at it after she'd woken up.
これは？
What's this?
ストラト4によって
A list of Stratfor's
被験者と
experimental
してリ
test
ストアップされた
subjects.
人たちの名前よ。
There was tons of rows of names, sexes, and ages and other information.
ここ、
Look here. She pointed her small finger at one of the names. It said, Shina Kagari.
椎名かがり。
Shina Kagari.
彼女、
She was one of the
ストラ
Stratfor's
ト4
guinea
のモルモッ
pigs.
トにされていたんだわ。
Of course, I known it was a possibility. That was why I'd been looking for her. They've been looking for her. Blech. And she had Kurisu's memories too. But still, it was one thing to suspect and another to see proof.
だけど、
But
最
they
終
never
実
made
験
it
ま
to
で
the
には
last
至ら
phase
な
of
かったみたい。
experiments, it looks like.
その
It
直
says
前に
she
脱
ran
走
away
した
just
と書か
before
れ
they
てあ
got
る
the
わ。
chance. That made me feel a lot better. If Kaguri still had Kurisu's memories, I would have seen a repeat of what happened in the last world line. This must have been another effect of the world line change. There is still no doubt that she'd been in Stratfor's hands for years, and that she'd been the subject of many experiments during that time.
少し
I'm a little
心配
worried.
だわ。
Maha must have been thinking the same thing I was. Kaguri was alone with Yuki at Daru's hideout right now.
誰だよこの
He's
忙
calling
し
me
い時
now.
に。
I'm busy. It's silly, really. The ringing that suddenly interrupted a conversation was coming from Daru's phone.
天主だ。
It's Amaneshi.
どうしたんだろ
I
う。
wonder what's up. I had a bad feeling.
はい、もしもし。
Yes.
天
Hello?
主。どうした
Amaneshi.
ん？
What is it?
何かあった
Did
ん？
something happen?
え？
Huh?
かがりたんが
Kaguri-tan was what?
かがりがどうした？
What happened to Kaguri?
いなく
She
な
says
った
she's
って。
gone. Huh?
何？
What? He grabbed the phone out of his hands and put it up to my
俺
ear.
だ。
It's me, Okabe. Is
かが
Kaguri
りがい
really
なくなったっ
gone?
て。本当か？
You know, if you're wrong about Yuki and Okabe's right, this call is going to be that much more distressing. Honestly, it kind of seems like that's the case.
岡部さん、
Okabe,
ごめんな
I'm
さい。
sorry. I
私が
was
つい
right
ていな
next to
がら。
her.
一体どうして
What happened?
誰
Did
か
she
に
get
さらわれたのか
い
kidnapped?
え
No.
それが
Kaguri left
か
on
がり
her
さんが
own.
自分で
I tried my best to stop
私
her,
必死
but
で
she
止め
was
たん
so
ですけど
strong.
すごい力で
Mm,
自分で
on her own? What was going on? Was Yuki really... No, that was impossible. If Yuki was working for Stat Force, she wouldn't be calling me. Or would she? But then why had Kaguri run off on her own?
スピーカーモードにしてもらえる
Can you put it on
私も話が
speaker?
聞きたいわ
I want to hear this too. I hit the button to switch the call to the speakerphone.
ユキさん
Yuki,
かがりさんが
tell me
飛び
more
出してい
about
く
what
前の
happened
状
before
況を
Kaguri
詳し
ran
く教え
off.
て
Was there
何か
anything
変わったことは
strange?
なかった特には
No.
それまで
They
い
were
ろいろ
just
とおしゃべ
talking.
りしていて
Talking about what?
何か変な映像を見たり
Did
は
this hear anything
もし
strange?
くは音とかい
No.
あ
Oh
え
wait,
待ってくださ
come
い
to think of it,
そういえ
I
ば
did hear some weird
外から
music from
変な音
outside.
楽が聞こえてました
It was like some kind of jingle
何か
from
の
an
大選手
advertising
みたい
van.
でしたけど
I remember
や
it
けに
because
大
it
きい
was
音
really
だねと思
loud.
ったら
That's awfully convenient, isn't it? An advertising van. Was it the one that I'd seen this afternoon?
それね
That's it.
さっきのファイルに書いてあっ
I
た
just read about it in that
過
file.
去
It
ス
was
ト
one
ラト
of
フ
the
ォーが行ってき
experiments
た数
Stratfor
々の
did.
実験
Of course.
その実験の中に
The
ブレイ
experiment
ンウォッシン
involved
グが含まれてい
brainwashing.
た
Of course. Brainwashing.
洗脳か
Brainwashing.
特定の音楽を耳にすれば
I think she might have been
自発的
brainwashed to
に行
behave
動
in a
するよう
certain
洗脳
manner
さ
she
れてい
heard
た
a
んじゃないかしら
pre-programmed source of music.
そうとでも考えな
That's
け
the
れ
only
ば
way to explain why she'd
こ
run
の状
off
況
on
で
her
自
own
分か
right
ら進
now.
んで飛び出すとは思えない
Oh. That song the van was playing. It was K620-5. The magic flute sent to lead Kaguri astray.
ファイルにも書かれている
The
わ
file also said that she was an ideal
Sheena
candidate
Kagari
for the
は適合性に
experiments and that they
非常
were
に
still
優れてい
looking
るた
for
め
her.
目下行方を捜索中って
Damn it. They probably had vans like that all over Japan, not just Akihabara. And she'd fallen right into their trap.
どうするオカリン
What did we do, Okurin? It was obviously Stratfor that had gone after Kaguri, which meant that all we could do was... And then there was another call. This time it was to my phone. I had Ferris prepare several cell phones for my use in this operation. One to use to call everyone, one to give to Kaguri, and... This call was coming for the phone I'd given to Kaguri. It probably wasn't from her, though. Who could it be? Now I'm wishing I had like a Go XLR or something like that, and I could also do like silly effects to my voice. But alas, I do not have that technology. Anyways, Rintaro Okabe, right? The digitally altered voice made the caller seem even more eerie.
ああ
Yeah,
そうだ
that's right. Who are
お
you?
前は
椎名かがりは
We
我々
have
の
Kaguri
支柱にあ
Shino.
る
I don't need to tell you what we
交換条件は
want, do I?
言わなくてもわかるな
Kurisu's laptop and hard drive.
考える時間を
Give
く
me
れ
time to think.
考え
Think?
る何を
Think
考
about
える
what?
必要がある交換は
The
明日
exchange will take place tomorrow.
場所と方法は
I'll
追って
tell
連
you
絡する
where and how later. They hung up.
クリスの PC
They
と
want
ハ
to
ード
swap
ディ
her
スク
for
と
Kurisu's computer and hard
交換
drive.
だそうだ
でどうする
So what's the plan?
かがりが洗脳
I
にあ
can't
ってい
believe
たなん
Kaguri
て
was brainwashed. Suzuha was gritting her teeth in frustration as she listened to us. I had her come back immediately after the call. And I brought Moeka Kiryu to the lab as well.
率直に教えてもらいたい
I want your honest opinion.
仮に
If you do what they
相
want,
手の要求
will
に
they
従
give
っ
us
たと
back
して
Kaguri?
思わない
No. Like, I gave her honest opinion.
私もそう思う
I agree. They're willing to use dirty tricks like brainwashing. If they don't need her, they'll just kill her.
必要なくなれば容赦なく消すだろう
Honestly, it's weird that possibility didn't come up before, to be honest. Honestly, yeah.
最悪
They might
あ
kill
なたを
you,
やら
too.
れる
The only reason they would have called me specifically is that they knew I had information they wanted to keep hidden. After what I'd gone through already, I could safely assume they'd show no mercy. And they were after what Kurisu had left behind. Her memories and her belongings. I didn't want them causing any more wars. Which meant there was only one thing I could do.
こっちから乗り込んで
We'll have to bust in and take
かがり
back
を取り戻
Kagari.
すしかないな。
It was dangerous, but it was the only way. Many of the others were still out there fighting. Which meant they should still think I was running around the city.
乗り込むって
Bust in?
そんな
You don't even know
相
where
手
they
がどこにい
are.
るのかもわからないのに
どこにいるかなら知ってる
I
さ
do.
本当か
Really?
おじさん
Uncle, when did you...
鈴葉
Suzaha,
手伝ってく
will
れ
you
るか
help?
オキドキ
Okie dokie. I turned to Moika, who shook her head.
そこまでは
I'm not willing to go that far. Honestly, that's fair. I bet.
ダメよ
You can't go alone. It's too dangerous. Let's just equip ourselves with FB, the Braun Tube guy.
いや、
No.
大勢
It
で
might be
動くより
safer
は
than going with a
危
big
険は
group.
少ないかもしれない。
And I knew that fate wasn't going to let me die for a little while longer.
まゆりさんたちに
You're
は
not
言わ
going
な
to
い
tell
の
the other girls?
言えば
You would
心配か
probably
けるだ
just
ろう
worry
から
them.
ダル
Daru,
引き
keep
続き
working on that file
ロッ
lock.
クの解除を
I'll
頼む
leave your phone on a call with me.
それから
スマホは通話状態にしておいてくれ
オキドキ
Okie dokie.
おじさん
Uncle,
これを
here. Suzaha handed me a semi-automatic pistol. Alright,
グロック
the Glock.
もしもの時は
Protect
自
yourself
分の
if
身
you
は
have
自分で
to.
守るんだ
I hesitated, but decided to take it. It was the first time in my life I've ever held a gun. It was a lot heavier than I expected it to be. Honestly, that's fair. The lights were still on still on at the building in Kondo. Even at this hour, the gate was open. That's how colleges were. Oh right, yeah, the college. Fuck. As expected, we made it inside with no trouble.
ここに係が
Kagari's in here.
ああ
Yeah,
そのは
she
ずだ
should be. Itaru's information from 2036 is right. Stratfor's base was here at my university, Tokyo Dunki. Several buildings still occupied the school's Kondo campus. Building 1, Buildings 5 through 7, and Buildings 11 through 15. Buildings 5, 6, 10, and 15 were scattered throughout the surrounding neighborhood, but the remainder were in their own little isolated area. The only two of those with basements were 11 and 15. And my guess was Stratfor's base was here in Building 11. It was not only the building with the newest equipment, but it was also a big building with 17 floors and a lot of foot traffic going in and out. I didn't know how many people Stratfor had working for them, but at least some of them had to have been out looking for me. Which meant this place would be less well guarded than usual. And I had Suzaha with me too. This was doable.
こっちだ
This way. I led Suzaha straight down the stairs. There were 3 elevators in the building, but Suzaha had decided that taking them would be dangerous. They could potentially be trapped. The problem was what lay down below. There were over 20 rooms of varying sizes in the 2-story basement. Which one of them was their base?
おじさんこっ
Uncle,
ち
this way.
わかるのか
You know where to go?
思い出した
I
こ
remembered.
こなら昔
I've infiltrated
潜入
this
したこ
place
とがあ
once
る
before.
私が知ってる建
When I
物は
was
も
here,
う崩
the
れか
place
け
was
で
falling apart.
外観も
And
全
the
然
outside
変わっ
looked
てたか
totally
ら分からな
different,
かったけど
but I'm sure of
間
it.
違いない
Suzuha led me down the corridors without hesitation. With her gun in her hand and her hips so dropped low to the ground to avoid making noise as she ran, she looked just like a cat. She stopped in front of one of the rooms and nodded to me. It seemed no different than any of the others, but there was no nameplate on it. This was supposed to be a large generator room, as I recalled.
私はかがりを救出する。
I'll save Kaguri.
おじさん、
You just protect
自
yourself,
分の身は
uncle.
自分で守ること。
Right. I took the Glock out from my belt. It was heavy in my hands. Suzuha had taught me how to use it, but I never fired it before. I wasn't sure I'd be able to. But it still would serve as a bluff.
行くよ。
Here we go. 3, 2,
1。
1. After she finished her countdown, Suzuha shut off the doorknob, kicked open the door, and ran into the room. She did it all in one swift movement. I ran after her and realized immediately that something was wrong. The first thing I noticed was the stench. It was an iron smell, strong enough to make you puke. Blood. The floor of the room was covered with blood. There were bodies too. 4 or 5 of them. Of course, Suzuha hadn't done it. It was already like this when we got here.
どういうことだ
What's going on? Suzuha was slowly working her way forward. I followed her. Some of the bodies were Japanese and some were American. The room continued on. A large man was laying face down next to a half-open door, and next to him was...
思ったよりも早かったわね、リンタロウ。
Judy. You're here sooner than I expected, Rintaro.
バカな
No way. The voice saying my name was voluptuous and feminine, and its accent was foreign.
レイエス教授
Dr. Reyes.
元気そうで
I'm
何
glad
よ
you're
りだわ
doing well.
どうして
Why?
ちょっと
I
探
came
し
to
物
get
を
something
返
I
して
was
もらお
looking
うかと
for.
思って。
Dr. Reyes spun around quickly and smoothly like a dancer. Kagari was seated behind her.
かがり
Kagari!
どうした
What's wrong,
Kagari?
Kagari? Can't you hear
Kagari!
us? And there was some kind of strange mechanical device over her head. No matter how much I called out her name, she didn't move an inch.
あら、
No
せっか
dear,
く気持ちよ
she's
く
sleeping
眠
so
ってるんだから、
peacefully.
起
It
こ
would
し
be
てあげ
rude
た
to
ら
wake
か
her
わい
up.
そうよ。
Her smile was sharp and cold, and completely lacked the warmth I'd seen when we first met.
気をつけろ。
Watch
そい
out,
つ軍人だ。
she's military. Suzuha already had her gun drawn at Rio's. But Rio's didn't seem concerned in the slightest.
軍人
Military? Tenoji had said that, come to think of it, that the group looking for Kagari was with the Western military. And he wondered if a normal spy would have taken their own life.
そっちのあなた、
And who might you
何
be?
者？
かがりを返せ。
Give back Kagari.
いい顔ね。
I love that face.
日本に
I
はそう
didn't
い
know there
う
was
顔
anyone
で
in
きる
Japan
人
with
間
a
がいる
face
んだ。
like that.
知らなかった。とりあえず、
Why don't you
銃を
start
こ
by
ちら
giving
に。
me your gun?
でないと
If you
椎
don't,
名かがり
Kagari
は
Shino
死
will
ぬ
die, you know?
かがりを殺した
The
瞬間
second she
に
dies, you're dead
私がお
too.
前を殺す。
あらそう。
I see. But I'm just one part of a larger organization.
私一人
Killing
を
me
殺
won't
した
change
と
a
ころで
thing.
状況は変わらないわよ。
鈴葉
Suzuha. Suzuha laid the gun at her feet, frustrated.
いい子ね。
Good girl.
つい
Now
で
stand
に
there with your
そ
hands
こで
behind
両
your
手を
head.
頭の後ろに置いて立ってなさい。
No, you're just gonna do something stupid, aren't you?
それでリンタロ
So,
ウ、
Rintaro,
交換
I
条件
believe
は
I
提
told
示
you
したは
what the
ずだ
deal
けど、
was.
ちゃ
Did
ん
you
と持
bring
ってきて
them?
くれたの？あらあ
Oh
ら、
my.
い
You're
け
such a
ない
naughty
子ね。
boy. If you didn't bring
持っ
them,
てきて
then I
いな
can't
い
let you
な
have Kagari
ら、こちらとしては
Shino.
椎名かがりは渡せないわ。
She said Kagari was asleep, but when I looked closer, I saw that her eyelids weren't fully closed. From what little I could see of her eyes, They were empty and devoid of light.
かがりに何を
What
し
did
た
you do to Kagari?
残念だけど
Unfortunately,
まだ何もして
nothing
いない
yet.
わ
I just played the
彼らが
lullaby
使
they
ってい
used
た
with
子守
her.
歌をちょっと聞かせてあげただけでも
But if you're
あ
not
なたが
going
交
to
換
accept
条
my
件に応
trade,
じる気がない
then
み
maybe
たい
I'll
だか
just
ら
get started.
これから始めてしまおうか
She
しら
rubbed Kagari's cheeks with the barrel of the gun, a look of ecstasy on her face.
クリスの PC とハー
I've
ドディ
hidden
スクは
Kurisu's laptop and hard drive
特
somewhere
別な場所に
special.
隠してあるかがりを渡さない
If you're not going to give me Kagari,
こっちも
then I
教え
won't
るつ
tell
もり
you
はない
where.
先にかがりを
Let
解放し
Kagari
ろ
go first.
交渉は無駄よ
Negotiations are pointless, Rintaro.
そっちが渡す気がな
If
い
you're
な
not going to give me what I
こっちは
want,
こっち
then
のや
I'll
り
just
方
do
をさせ
things
ても
my
らう
way. It wasn't a threat or a bluff. Reyes was acting like this because she was in every... was acting like this was an everyday conversation. With all the blood and stench around us. That somehow made it even creepier.
これは
Did you do this?
あなたがやったのか
Yes.
彼
he
ら
had
も
been
余
so
計な
stupid
真似を
that
し
might
な
have
ければ
might have
もう少し
managed to live
長
a
生き
little
できた
longer.
のに
It's a shame.
残念ね
どうして
Why would you do something
こん
like
な真似を
this?
簡単なこと
It's
よ
simple.
私の
figured out
正
who I
体に
really
気づいたから
正
Who
体
you really are.
そこの彼女が言っ
Remember
てた
what
で
she
しょ
just said?
軍か
You're with the military.
同時に研究者でもあ
And
る
a scientist as well.
ダーパ
Derpa.
って言っても
Not that that means anything
どうせ
to
わか
you,
らないで
I'm
しょうけ
sure.
ど
Derpa. The Defense Ultimate Research Projects Agency? No way. Dr. Rios is with them? I forgot they were on call with Daru. I could hear Maho's voice through my Bluetooth microphone. I left my phone connected to Daru's, so that we could stay in touch if we needed to. Okarin, just give me a little more time. By time, now? It would be impossible. But I asked Daru for an impossible many times before. Now it was my turn. I couldn't let her hurt Kagari. Suza had lost her weapon. It'd be hard to do this by force. I just need to keep her occupied.
そ
Why
の
would
軍
someone
の
from the
人間が
military?
どう
もともと
My team
私の所
originally
属する
worked
チ
on
ームはブレイ
brainwashing.
ンウォッシングの研究をしていたのよ
洗脳
Brainwashing.
それじゃ
Then Kagari.
かがりは
Other real life organization is DARPA, so it's not that far off. Interesting. I like DARPA better, it sounds funny.
言っておくけど
Just so we're
彼女
clear,
をこうした
it
のは
wasn't me
私
who
じゃ
did
ない
this to her.
彼ら
It
よ
was them. Them. She must have met the people lying on the floor.
どうだか
I don't know if I believe that.
そも
Why
そも
would the military want to
なぜ
brainwash
軍
people
の人間
anyway?
が洗脳の研究なんてする必要がある
No comment. There's no need to even ask. But I need to buy time for Daughter to finish his hacking.
決まってるでしょ
You know why.
思
We
い
want
通りに
soldiers who will
動く
do
戦士を
exactly as
作
they're
るためよ
told.
文句を言うこと
Our
も
goal
な
was
く
to make the ultimate
死を恐
soldier
れるこ
who
ともない
never complains, who never
国の
fears
ため
death,
に身を
and who
捧げる
willingly
最強の
sacrifices
戦士
himself
を
for his
作るため
country. That's very American. For better or worse.
別に珍しいこ
There's
とじゃ
nothing
ないわ
unusual about it.
そんなの
It's been done all
100
over the
年以上も前
world
か
for
ら
over a
世界中で行
century.
われているものでもね
But then we
洗脳
realized
な
that
ん
we
て
would
面
make
倒
the
なことを
ultimate
しなく
soldier
ても
without going
最
through the
強の
hassle
戦
of
士を作り上げら
brainwashing.
れると私たちは気づいたの
Mhm.
それが
An AI
AI 戦士
soldier.
よ
AI
An
戦
AI
士
soldier. The name alone made it sound like the title of a cheap sci-fi movie, but it also just made it creepier.
なるほどな
I see. So you implant an artificial intelligence into the
兵
soldier's
士の頭の
brain
中に植え付けるというわけかそうすれば
that would let you mass produce highly
一様に
intelligent
高
and
度な頭
highly
脳と
capable
思考を持つ戦士
soldiers.
を大量
へえ
Huh.
それに
And if you can install the memories
特殊
needed
技能
for
について
special
の記
skills
憶
too,
を
you'll have a
兵士
whole
全
army
員
of
にインストール
specialists
す
ready
れ
for
ば
any mission imaginable.
全員がどんな
その通り
That's right, Nintendo.
Rintaro,
You're quick on the
理解が早い
uptake.
わねしかも
And in the
ゆくゆくは
future,
今日
we'll be able
意識
to make
化することで
soldiers
より
capable of
綿密で
enhanced
高度な
teamwork
連
via
携を
group
図れるよう
consciousness
にもな
too.
る
I have mind. I think that's just the hive mind.
どう
What do you
すごい
think?
でしょ
Amazing, isn't it?
そんなの
You can't do
許される
that.
わけがない。
It's wrong.
陳腐なセリ
That's
フ
what
ね
they all say. I was worried that Suzuha might jump on her in fury, but she stayed completely calm. Anyways, Reyes was right next to Kaguri. No matter how fast Suzuha was, without a gun, Kaguri was still in danger. If I knew Suzuha, she was watching the situation carefully and waiting for an opening.
いい
Listen to me.
私たちは
We
世
want
界の治安
stability.
を守っている
Our military is the
我
only
が
thing
軍が
keeping
あ
the
るから
world
こそ
peaceful.
世界の平和は保たれているのよ
Not sure about that.
そのための戦士にな
And
れ
if
る
they
なら
have to sacrifice
彼らだ
themselves
っ
to
て
become the
本望の
soldiers who
は
who can make that possible, actually they won't mind too much. It was selfish reasoning. There was no way I or anyone else could accept it. Yeah, exactly. An American would think that. But interesting.
面白い
Emoshiroi. I almost said that, but I wanted to make sure that's exactly what he was gonna say first. I know Japanese. Anyways,
レイエス教授
Dr.
いや
Reyes.
レイエ
No.
ス
Reyes, you
貴様
interest me greatly
なかなか
indeed.
面白いじゃないか
I saw Suzuha's gaze dart over to me for just a moment. Her eyes seemed to criticize me, but she didn't say anything.
リンタロ
Rintaro? No, it's HOUOUIN KYOUMAAA.
リンタロウでは
My
ない
name is not Rintaro. Yep, okay, I saw that coming. My job right now is to keep her busy until Daughter broke the lock on the files. Which meant that now was the time to act. So true. Acting time. To act the part of the biggest fool I could. It is April Fool's Day, still, for only like 15 more minutes. Yes, when the cheaty mode saves the day. That was my job.
我が名は
My name is HOUOUIN KYOUMAAA. I'm the man who shall destroy the ruling structure of the world and plunge it into
混沌
chaos.
に陥れる男
一体
What kind of
Nano
joke
jodan.
is this? I, the mad scientist of madness, HOUOUIN KYOUMAAA, admit it. You, Reyes,
貴様
are moderately
なかなかに待つぞ
moderately mad for as a treat.
ほう
Hyo, what? Fair.
あーインキャーマ
HOUOUIN KYOUMAAA. Rintaro Okabe is the disguise I use to deceive the eyes of the world. This is my true
そ
identity.
の正体こそこの俺不死鳥の
I am the mad
男
scientist, reviving like the phoenix.
サイエンティストだ
What am I hearing? You're screwed up,
ユニ
kid.
ークね
Oh yeah, so true. Although I like that she's actually said like unique, but they translated as screwed up because like honestly same difference in this situation. For a moment her mouth had hung open in shock, but she quickly regained her cocky smile. But I couldn't back down now.
レイエス
Reyes, I already know what you've done thus far.
貴様は
You've infiltrated Victor Conjure University as a professor to work on your AI soldier
教授として
projects.
潜り込むそして
And while you were
そ
there,
の過程で
you found out about
アマデウス
Amadeus.
プロジェクトにたどり着いたそうだ
Correct.
その
Yes,
通りよ
that's right.
アマデウ
Amadeus
ス
was
は
quite the
なかなかに面
interesting
白いプロジェクト
project.
だったわ
But what interested me more,
それよりも面白かったのは
she stepped on the body next to her as if it were an object and not a human being.
アマデウスプロジェクトの
Were the
影に
traces I
見え隠れ
saw of
す
their
る
involvement.
彼らの存在よ案の定
And just as I expected, I looked into it and found something incredible.
何が出てきたか
You know what I
あ
found,
なたも知ってる
right?
でしょ
タイムマシン
The time machine. Yes. Reyes flashed me a dazzling smile and nodded.
なるほど
I
な
see.
人類の夢で
The time machine.
決して
impossible
作り出す
dream
こ
of
との
all
できないと言われた
mankind.
タイムマシンその理論が記された
You learned of the
論文の
paper
存在
that
に
described how it would work.
それを手に入れ
And you learned that if you could get it, the
世
world would
界
be
の
yours
覇
to
権をも手に入れ
command.
ることができると
But you were a fool. Everyone like you thinks the same thing.
貴様らの考えることは皆同じだ。
くだらない
A fool.
ですって
Yes. Deste.
ああ、
Yes.
実にくだら
A
ん
fool.
世界の
Ruling the world. Working for the nation. Working for the organization.
機関のため。どれも
These are all
歪
goals
小
of
な目的だ
petty men. Imagining Okabe constantly contouring himself into various JoJo poses as he yells. So true.
そんなものの
If you would use the greatest invention of human history for those things, then you're a failure as a scientist. So true.
私は
I'm a soldier before I am a scientist. Well, that's your own problem then. Skill issue.
国に命を
I've offered my life to my country. Skill issue.
我が国が世界
If
の
my
果
country
て
can
の手に入
command
れ
the
ば
world, that lets us
それ
keep
だけ
every
で
other
ロシア
potential threat in check. Not true.
それは世界の
And that's
ためで
what's
もあり
best for the world and
人類のためで
mankind.
もあるのよ
Very not true. Her voice was rising in excitement.
だから
That's why we can't let any other country get ahead of us.
革命的な理
By
論を
obtaining this revolutionary theory before anyone else, we can keep the world's power balance the way it is. We can keep the world peaceful. The world is not peaceful.
それを他の
We
国
can't let another country, let alone a civilian corporation, get their hands on it
許
first.
すものですか
それが
And that's why you killed all these people.
手を手にかけた理由か。あえてもう一
I'll
度
say it
言おう
again.
くだらないな
You are a fool.
あらそう
I see.
彼らには
I
悪
do
いこと
feel
した
bad
と
about
思
what
っ
I
てる
did to them. I am able of guilt, just a little bit, as a treat. She didn't really sound like she meant it.
本当なら彼らを
The plan
泳が
was
せ
to
るだ
let
け
them
泳
go
が
a
せておい
while
て
longer, and then
全
take
て
the
を手に
data
入
once
れ
they
て
had
デ
it
ータを
all.
頂戴するつもりだったの
なら
Then why kill
な
them?
ぜ殺した？
スパイとして
One of the people I sent in to spy on them
他
screwed
の人
up.
にヘマをしでかしちゃったの
Of course.
だからそれに
So I
つい
do
ては
blame
こちら
myself
の
for
落ち度だ
that.
と思ってるわ
She really is just the face of America, TM, right now. So fucking true.
でもね
But they're
彼
at
らだ
fault
って
too.
悪いのよ
Sure they are.
うちには民間の
Derpa
研
hires
究者が
civilian
在籍している
scientists.
そちらに席
They
を
offered
用
them
意するっ
jobs,
て
but they
提
got
案したの
greedy and started
欲
making
を出して要求を
demands.
突きつけてきたりなんかする才能のある
Losing
人間を
talent like that is
失う
such a
のは
shame.
不本意だわ
The corners of her mouth rose a little as she spoke. It didn't seem like she felt that way at all.
さて
So,
ここで一つ
Rintaro
提
Okabe,
案
I've got an offer for you.
岡部倫太郎
Why not work for
あな
Derpa?
たうちに来ない
Because he is not American and he has no interest in America's fucking politics as far as I'm aware.
何？
What?
あら
You look
意外って
surprised.
顔ね
Why did you think I was
一
telling
体
you
何
all
のためにわ
this?
ざわざこんな話をしたと
Because you're
思う
fucking insane. I don't know.
メイドの宮
Long
に
villain monologues only exist in your Japanese
日本の
samurai
侍シネマの
movies.
中だけの話
Listen,
で
it
しょ
exists in anime too. Come on.
心配しなくていい
Don't worry. We don't care
私た
about
ちは
what
国
country
籍
you're
なんて
from.
問わないし
If you want,
お望
we
み
can
なら
get you a
グリー
green
ンカードだって
card.
用意してあ
I
げる
wish or fucking hope you would.
つまり
In other words,
俺の
you recognize my talent.
この
You recognize the mind of HOUOUIN
認め
Kyouma.
たというわけか。
もちろん
Of course.
才
I
能
wouldn't
のない
make this
人間
offer
に
to
は
someone
声をかけ
without
たりなんてしないわ
talent.
あなたには才
You've
能
certainly
がない
got it.
それに
And you're Kurisu
牧瀬
Makise's
クリスの
friend
友
too.
人でもある
The real reason she was interested in me was probably the latter. It was far too obvious.
マキセクリスのタイムマ
I
シン
might
理
have
論
heard
について
something from Kurisu Makise about her
俺が
time
彼女
machine
から
theories.
何か聞いているかもしれない。
Might have. Just a little bit.
そう期待しているわけだ。
That's what you're hoping.
だからこの俺が
And
欲し
that's
い
why
と
you want me.
役に立つ人間
We
は
take those
人
who can be useful,
正
and we
当な
pay.
対価も払う
That's how things work
そ
in
れ
our
が私
world.
たちの生きる世界のルールだもん、
hmm
ということは
Which means that once I'm not useful,
役に立た
I
な
end
くな
up
った
like the
ら
people on the ground over there.
俺もそこに転がっている。
それ
And
は
that depends on how hard you work and what you decide to do.
心がけ次第じゃないかし
Her eyes laughed and went around behind Kagari. She seemed to be moving casually, but since Izuha didn't pounce, she probably hadn't left any openings. Daru, are you done yet? I was hitting my limit for buying time. Well, take your time and think about it. Well, I guess now you can buy plenty of time with that. Yeah, he gets to have that laugh on his own. Not the goofy ass villain pose. Of course the goofy ass villain pose. You have quite the high taste eye, if you've noticed my talents for acting. High taste eye. High quality taste and a discerning eye. You're American and you don't even know that. But that's fine. I take back what I said about your failures as a scientist. Since, after all, you recognize my talent. I see. Then you accept my offer? I refuse! What? Because I am HOUOUIN KYOUMAAA. A mad scientist must always be a solidarity creature. Solitary creature. Still, he is a creature. Was she really trying to push Bootstrap theory while standing in front of dead bodies of employees she killed for making demands? Man, she really is American. So fucking true. He must never belong to anyone or anything at any time. That is his destiny. He really is a creature, yeah, so true. At first, Rhea seemed surprised, but then she exhaled a long sigh. Well, feel free to take your time. Not again. Think it over until I'm done with her. Fucking like a military recruiter. Like, yeah, you say that now, but I'm gonna ask you again, like 5 seconds later. You'll change your mind eventually. What are you going to do to Kagari? Suzuha still had her hands behind her head, but if looks could kill, Reyes would be dead already. You know what I'm doing. I'm overriding her memories, Kurisumaki says. Fucking course you are. That's... Then in the other world line, maybe Derpa did that and not Stratfor. And that wasn't all. Was the woman in the motorcycle suit who'd attacked the lab? Oh yeah, because the voice would actually match her better since it was on the deeper side, huh? So maybe it really was a coincidence that Yuki's arm was hurt. Don't make that face. I've used this technique on animals and a number of humans. That's not reassuring, and we also know what will happen afterwards, so shut your trap. Reyes rubbed Kaguri's cheeks lovingly. The system had a critical flaw until now, anyway. But this time it's fixed. It's just highly compatible. I'm sure it'll work fine. Every single word she spoke. And she spoke so slowly. I felt like it was drawing me in. Kurisu's memories, her mind, will be recreated inside this girl. And then we won't have to worry about any black boxes locking away parts of her memories. She'll do whatever we tell her. And I'm sure she'll tell us all about the time machine. She wouldn't though. Kurisu is very stubborn. You should know that. We won't need Kurisu's laptop or her hard drive. As long as we have her, we'll be fine. Reyes brought her crimson lips next to Kaguri. Tell me, Kaguri. You want to be Kurisu, right? No, Kaguri. Don't listen to her. Thoughts. But Kaguri didn't move at all. Her genius mind will be yours.
世界に革
You
新
can
を起こす存
revolutionize the
在にな
world.
れるの。
Would that be wonderful?
素敵だと思わない？
More dots.
お返事は？
Well, Kaguri's lips moved a little. Yes. God damn it. You're brainwashed. Good
いい子
girl.
ね。
Kaguri.
リンタロウ、
Rintaro.
これはあな
This
た
was your
の選
choice
択で
too,
もあ
you
るの
know?
よ。
No, it wasn't. You fucking liar.
素直にこちら
If
の
you'd
交
simply
換条
done
件
as I
に応じ
asked,
ていれば、
things might have
結
turned
果
out
は変わっ
differently.
たかもしれないのに。
Mm.
それに、
And
あなただ
besides,
って本
you
当
want
は
to see
クリス
Kurisu,
に会い
don't
たいん
you?
じゃないかしら。
Not like this. Like,
人間を構成する
a
のは
person has
記
nothing
憶
but their memories.
記憶がその
It's
人
their
間を
memories
作
who
り出
make
して
them
い
who
る。
they are.
クリスの記憶を
When
持ったか
Kaguri
な
has
りは
Kurisu's memories,
Kurisu
she'll become
そのものになるわ。
Kurisu. And you'll like
そうなれ
that,
ば
won't you?
あなただって嬉しいでしょ？
I mean, no. I...
それにクリス
And
だ
I'm
っ
sure
て
Kurisu will too. Shut up! I was surprised at how loud my voice was. Kurisu would be happy? Hell no. Even if you do replace Kaguri's memories with Kurisu's, she won't be Kurisu. And she would never be happy to see her memories used like that. Don't you dare insult her. Don't you dare insult Kurisu Makise. That's...
そう
I see.
残念だ
That's a shame.
いずれにせよ
But either way, the
結果は
result
同
doesn't
じ
change. Hey, Okabe, what if you, like, casually took the Glock that you have and went, pew? Like, come on.
そこで大切
You
な
could
人
just
の記
stand
憶
there
が
and
この
watch
子
her
の中
mind
に
be
受け継
filled
が
with the
れる
memories of the
お
one
と
you
なし
love.
く見守っていなさい。
Maria started to tap commands into the computer next to her. Shizuha was still calm. She wasn't attacking Rias because she was waiting for Dari's word. Dari, are you done yet? Sorry, Okarin. I'm so close. Damn it,
おじさん
Uncle. I'm in favor of pistol whipping Rias myself, but whatever shuts her up. So true. Shizuha whispered to me.
場合によっては
They may have to give up on Kaguri. No!
私が動いたら
Once I move, get down. Knowing Shizuha, she wouldn't hesitate.
はあ
Okay,
準
all
備
ready to
OK
go. What do I do? Should I give up on her? I don't think so, but I couldn't do that, could I? But either way, Kaguri was doomed.
それじゃ
Alright, then.
さよなら
Sayonara,
かが
Kaguri.
り
Ria's thin fingers stretched out. And Suzuha moved. I love when Suzuha moves for like these attack things. She's just like there and then disappears. No. Gotta go fast. She closed the gap between her and Rias in an instant. A gunshot rang out. Suzuha's body shot back and fell to the floor. Suzuha!
そう来ると
I
思った
thought you'd do
わ
that too bad,
なんだ
huh?
ね
Rias had expected that. There was nothing I could do. I mean, I don't think she would really expect you to shoot her. You have a Glock. You can use it. I believe in you. Don't! Before I could stop her, Rias hit the keyboard. What? What's going on?
どうして
Why
反応
isn't
し
it
ないの
working?
まさか
It can't be.
こい
This
つ
stupid thing. God damn it. Shit. Rias pounded the keyboard again and again, swearing. Was there a problem with the system? Oh, did Daughter actually do it?
おかり
Oh, Kuri.
さん
Kaguri. There's a small light in Kakari's empty eyes. What is it? With Rias distracted, this was my chance. Kagari, come with me! Okari! But what about Suzuha? Is Suzuha okay? Is she just taking a little nap on the floor? Kagari ripped the device off her head, stood up and managed to run a few steps forward before she fell over, of course. Kagari! I ran over and grabbed her. Rias quickly brought her gun to bear. Another gunshot. I thought I'd been shot, but I hadn't. The gun, knocked out of Rias' hand, was spinning on the floor. Yay! Suzuha! I love Suzuha. I want to pat her on the head. Don't take another step. Suzuha slowly stood up. She was holding the gun that she just placed on the ground. Suzuha, you're okay? I guess so. Her shoulders were bloody, but it wasn't a fatal wound. She was lucky to survive a gunshot wound on that range. Honestly, yeah, but we can worry about that later. The tables have turned. The turns have tabled. You got me. I didn't expect to lose to a kid like you. Ria shrugged her shoulders in surrender. But this isn't over yet, you know. I said don't move. Urias ignored her and picked up the strange headset that Kakari had been wearing. Suzuha gripped her gun more tightly. Just so we're all on the same page, I'm carrying a small bomb with me. That's nice. I just bite down a little on my back teeth and it explodes. At this rate, I'm sure you three would be caught up in it. So you're gonna kill yourself? I've been trained to choose death rather than hand information over to the enemy, sadly. You're bluffing. If you think so, then shoot. Suzuha moved to pull the trigger. Wait, Suzuha. Just believe in Daru for now. But, like, Daru still can do his thing. Well, like, come on, you guys can escape. Like, who cares if Reyes is dead? Like... Reyes glanced at Suzuha, and slowly put the headset down over her own head. What are you trying to do? You didn't want to use her either, did you, Amadeus? But you don't mind if I use someone else? No way. I told you. It won't end here. Just kill her now! Suzuha, do it, do it, do it, do it! Pull the trigger! There was madness in her eyes. That's right. It was always so easy. There was never any need to use anyone else. I could have just done this myself. And I will have Kurisu Makuse's memories. I will have the time machine theory. And I will be the ones to revolutionize the world. No. Don't. Don't use Kurisu's memories for that. Yes, got it, got it, got it. Daru? No, I will rule time itself. That's not how it works. Daru, get rid of that file, now. Stat. Hold on, I'm looking for it now. Urias's fingers went for the keyboard. Don't. It's okay. I'll make good use of the memories of the girl you love. Bull fucking shit. I found it. I've got it, Okurim. Deleted Daru. Now, is that her? She's about to have a Kingdom of the Crystal Skull moment, isn't she? Maybe, maybe not. Set Kurisu free. Okie dokie. Come into me. That's horrible. No, thank you. Rise's fingers touched the keyboard. Silence. Nothing happened. There was no light or loud noise like the phone wave. Of course there wasn't. It was all going inside her head.
どう
What
なったんだ
happened? Reyes. She was in the exact same position as when she touched the keyboard, completely unmoving. Did the memories download? I steeled myself to take a closer look. Reyes collapsed to her knees. The light hit her face and I could finally see her expression. There was nothing there. No light, no darkness, nothing. Just hollowed emptiness in her eyes. But the expression of joy she had when she touched the keyboard was frozen onto her cheeks.
オカリンさん
Look at him.
その人は
Digital lobotomy? Oh.
早かったんだ。
Daru was faster.
ダルの方が
By just an instant.
一瞬だけ。
Yeah. The folder had been empty just before she downloaded the memories into her own mind. Digital lobotomy. Reyes accidentally downloads nothing TM into her own brain. So fucking true. She filled her head with emptiness, and now nothing was left. Digital lobotomy! Wee! No ice pick required. Not the memories she'd had before. Not her own history. Not her own desires. There was just an empty shell. There was just an empty shell kneeling on the ground as if praying to God. Okarin.
ダル、
Daru.
よくやった。
You did it.
終わったよ。
It's all over.
何もかも。
Everything. I could hear Daru and Maho cheering from the earphone.
行こう
Let's go,
おじさん。
Uncle.
い
It's
つ
not
ま
a
で
good
もこ
idea
こ
to
にいる
stay
のは良
here.
くない
Almost crueler than outright death. So true. Just digital lobotomy. Just for free 99.
そうだな。
You're right.
かがり、
Kagari. Can you
歩
walk?
けるか。
Yeah. The only things left were dead bodies and a living corpse. So true. Amadeus, the girl on the other side of the machine, was gone. She was gone from this world, along with the memories of the person I loved. I whispered softly to a girl who was no longer there.
また会おうな、
I'll see you again,
クリス。
Kurisu.
それじゃあマユシ
Okay,
私たち
Maishi,
また
we'll
来
be
るね
back. You know, normally when the necessary files to your program are unavailable, it just kind of pulls up an error. I mean, the folder was probably still there, so it just moved the folder into her brain and that was it. You can have empty folders. Okay, bye.
ルカ君も
Luca,
今度
let's
一緒に
cosplay
コ
next
スプレ
time,
しようね
okay? Yes. Luca, cosplay, please.
そ
I'll
の
think about it.
考えておきますオカリンさんや
Okarin,
皆さんは
everyone, thanks for
お邪
having
魔し
us
ました
over.
あ
Yeah,
あ、ま
come
たい
back
つでも来る
anytime.
うーん
Hmm,
どうした。
what is it? Just sounds like a massive programming oversight either way. I think it's a happy ending.
オカリンさん
Okarin,
なんだか
You've
雰
kind
囲
of
気変わりましたね
did he?
そう
Have I?
か。
The depression is gone. It's been replaced by a little bug called HOUOUIN KYOUMAAA. Yeah,
なんだか
you seem a lot
前より
easier
ず
to
っと
talk
つきや
to
すくなっ
now.
た感じもう吹雪ちゃん
Come on, Fubuki. It's rude to say that to his face.
え
What?
ー、楓ちゃん
You
だ
were
って
saying it
さっ
too a
き言
minute
ってた
ago,
じゃん
Kaede.
ちょっと
Hey. I guess you could indeed say that Okabe is in fact in a manic phase. Yeah.
えへへ
Ehehehe.
やれやれ。
Sheesh.
あ
Oh,
それじゃ
then
あ
I guess I'll be
私
leaving
もそろそ
too.
ろおいとましますね
I'm sorry, Yuki, for doubting you, but you were just conveniently gone. Pat, 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 pat. Got depression? Just replace it with HOUOUIN KYOUMAAA. Yes. You got work again today? Thank you for the head pats. Yep. I'll call you when I'm off. Let's make plans for this weekend. Ooh, date. Okay, I'll be waiting for you. But what's this? Daru-nyan and Yuki-nyan seem like they're an item, yeah? Do we? But my love for you will never change, Ferris-san. Come on, Dad. Not again. It's been several days since then. All the chaos with Amadeus and Kurisu's memories had calmed down, and normal life had resumed. There had been no official announcements about what had happened in the basement of Tokyo Denki University. The next day, the basement had been sealed off because that was described as a lab accident. Because of what was described as, yes. I mean, not wrong. The military, or maybe Stratfor, had covered it up. And since then, we hadn't seen anything strange going on around us. There should have been no traces of that we were ever there. They probably weren't going to come after us. Anyway, what happened back there? Digital lobotomy, yeah. Back there. When that woman tried to download Kurisu Makase's memories into Kaguri, it didn't work, right? Think it was just a system error? Daru-nyan's right. You probably shouldn't overthink it, Nya. I don't know. It's been bothering me. Come to think of it, when that happened, Kaguri seemed to have been thinking of something. She opened her mouth to speak. No, but... Come on, Kaguri. Don't stop mid-sentence halfway through. You're just making me wonder more. I thought I heard a voice back then. A voice? Yeah. There was someone in my head saying, no. I don't really remember all that happened, so maybe it was just a dream. Amadeus. Could it have been Amadeus? Maybe at the last second, she refused to allow her memories to overwrite Kaguri's. That's not a very logical opinion to be coming from you, Maho. Bulikako and Mayuri stared at each other when they heard Maho's words. The last time we activated Amadeus, the call cut off halfway through. Your bot was talking, but she seemed like she was in a really big hurry and hung up. Could that have been when it happened? But is that possible? I don't know. But Amadeus is just like a human. She has self-defense instincts. So it's possible that she realized her memories were going to be used for something wrong. In a different world line, Kurisu's memories had once existed inside Kaguri. Maybe Kurisu had saved Kaguri from experiencing the same fate here. There may have been another reason, but at least, that was what I wanted to think. Hey, Okarin, there's something I don't understand too. What's that? You were saying that Amadeus caused a lot of world line changes before now, right? But if we still remember what happened, that means the world line didn't change, right? Why is that? Oh, that? I thought about that right after what had happened. This is just a guess, but I think that whenever I'd done something involving Amadeus, and it caused Kurisu's memories to fall into someone's hands, whoever had gotten the memories had used them to rewrite the past.
だが今回は
But this time,
その原因
we
で
deleted Kurisu's
アマデウスとクリ
memories,
スの記憶そ
so
の
that
ものを消去
means
した
there's no world line change.
原因が取り除かれれば
That makes sense.
それによる世界線の変動は起きないそういうことだろう
The cause of the battle between Stratfor and Durpa was gone. And we gotten rid of the data that Kurisu had left behind. The future created by Kurisu's memories was gone. But Suzuha and Kagari were still here. If they were still here, then the future hadn't changed that much. Of course I knew that. Unless I could reach Steins Gate, the world line convergence couldn't change. But that didn't mean that this was for nothing. There was still that small flash of insight I'd felt in 2036. This world was another step towards it.
でこれから
So
どう
what's the
する
plan now?
そうだな
Hmm.
いろいろ
It's a
やるべ
lot
き
to
こと
do.
はあるが
But first,
その前に
I took something out of the pocket of my white lab coat. Is it gonna be the Oopa? I feel like it's gonna be the Oopa, but I could be wrong.
さて
I have a present
みんな
for
に俺から
everyone.
プレゼント
Oh, it's the little pins. Even better.
これは
What's this? Is it just... Yeah. I think it got updated. So, Okabe, Mayuri, Daru, Kurisu, Moeka, Lukako, Ferris, the others. It's based off of their last name, so my brain is like, I'm trying my best and it's not working. Not enough brain cells in this world for this. What's this?
ラボメンバー
Lab beverages. It identifies every one of us as members of the lab. Yep. The badge had everyone's initials on it. Of course, Kurisu and Moika's were on there too. And Maho Hiyajo, Kagari Shina, and Yuki Amane as well. Accepting the past for what it was and connecting it to the future. That was my job right now.
ラボメ
A lab member. Kagari held the badge to her chest happily.
私の宝物
I've got another treasure
一つ
now.
増えちゃった
Yes. Killed. The path that lay before me might be even harder than the one I traveled so far. But I knew the light was still there at the end of it.
私
I think I
Chris
understand why
と
Kurisu and
仲良
Hokurin
くなれた
became
理由。
friends.
私も
I
お父
finally
さんたち
realized why
が
my dad and
どう
everyone
してあ
else
んなに
relied
もオ
on
カリ
him
ンお
so
じさんを
much.
頼りにしていたのか
No.
やっとわかった私も
And I know why
ママが
Mama
オカリ
always
ンさん
loved him
を
too.
ずっと好きなの
No.
わかるな
Yeah, Kagari, that's not right. My issue is Okarin's
オカ
hostage,
リンの人質
so
で
it's not like...
だからそういうのとは
Wait, what? How come Okarin gets all the chips? Blow up and die?
リアチ爆発しろ
Come on. Not only do you have a partner confirmed in the future, you get laid at least once because you have a child. What more could you ask for, dude?
父さんには母さん
You've
がい
got
るでしょ
Mama, Dad. Many different futures and many different paths. Where they all converge, I know I'll find you. So,
ああ
yes,
俺だ
it's me.
何
What?
いつ
When
に
am
な
I
ったら
coming to
助けに
save
来る
you?
のかだ 慌てるな
Don't panic.
今はま
Now
だ
is
その
not
時
the
だ
appointed hour. Who do you
俺を
think I
誰だと
am?
思っている
Listen, I'm the mad scientist, HOUOUIN KYOUMAAA, and I never go back on my
不運に
word.
二言はないだか
So for now,
らしばし待つがいい
wait.
お前を絡めた
I
そ
shall
の時の
release you
呪
from
縛
the
から
chains of the time that
いつか
bind
必
you.
ずああ
Yes, I promise. Kurisu, until the day comes that we meet. And all I have, I give to you.
エル
L,
Sai.
Sai,
コン
Kongu.
グル
December 2011. That is almost a whole year jump. Holy shit. Ah! Nakihabara. A year after all the chaos, Maho visited the Future Gadget Lab for the first time in a long while.
お来た
Oh,
来た
she's here.
お
It's been a long time, everyone. Wow, it's Maho. I've missed you. Do-do-do. It's good to see you again, Maho. I'm glad to see you're doing well, Nya. It's good to see nothing's changed here. Yeah, looks like not much has changed with you either. I know I'm still short. You don't have to tell me. That wasn't what I meant. I know. It was a joke. Aw. What's wrong? I've been so lonely without you for the past year, Maho. But wait, you don't need to grab me like that. But... I'm sorry. I wanted to come back during the summer, but a lot happened at the university. The events of last January had left deep scars on Maho's lab. Of course they had. Not only was Amadeus involved, but many people in the college, including Dr. Reyes, have been involved as well. Thanks for coming all this way, Maho. Of course. I was a part of this too. I've got a responsibility to see it to the end. But are you sure? All the cleanup work you did over the last year will go to waste. It won't go to waste. You're the one who said this world's future would connect to the past. So I've done what I can in this world. Fair enough. Yeah. You're right. I was supposed to die in 2025, but I was alive. Everyone had been fooled. The past me. Everyone in the future. The world had been deceived. I thought the world was certain, but instead I found a future I didn't expect. So, wouldn't I be able to deceive the world too? And by doing so, avoid the future that awaited us? And if I could deceive the world, maybe I could find Steins Gate. But how to do so, unfortunately, was beyond me right now. But the future me had said. The path to Steins Gate is a hard one. Trying again once or twice probably won't get you there. But I think starting there is the best way to get to it. I think that many futures are connected to the past. So this world we're in isn't wasted. It's a world that we need. At least, that's what I think. Many futures, all connected to the past. That meant there was only one thing for me to do. Hashida, did you finish it? Of course, it's ready to go. An old microwave, sitting in the back of the development room. It was the time weight machine that Maho helped finish. That it added a new function to it. Still, it's hard to believe that this thing controls the fate of the world. That's right, everything began here. Our fate and Kadesi's had all been ruined by this device. The one difference between this and the old phone wave was that this one was connected to a smartphone, not an old feature phone. Text messages to the past would be detected by CERN, no matter what I did, which meant we'd become a target. That would mean taking this world that I gained only at the cost of sacrificing Kurisu, right back to where we started. There would be no point in that. But there were other ways to communicate now, beyond simple text messages. There were other ways to send messages. The software we use now, Rhine, was one of them. I call it the D-Rhine. Of course. Of course, the idea of using the electronics of the CRT television in the Braun 2 workshop to control gravity and create a singularity to send the message back in time was the same. And the amount we could send was still 18 characters, same as the D-mail. But we didn't have to worry about CERN finding it. We didn't have to worry about Mayuri being killed. The only problem was that we couldn't send messages back before we started using Rhine, but there was nothing I could do about that. The most important thing to do now is make it possible.
まったく
Sheesh.
どこにも
It was
捕
pretty
捉さ
hard
れ
to
ない
find a
よう
way
に
to
なん
make
て
sure
注
no one
文
would
つける
detect
から
it.
結構大変だったのだぜ、抜け穴見つけ
It
る
took
の
forever to find a
にめっ
place they
ちゃ
weren't
時間かかっ
watching.
たんだからな。
He complained, but he'd pull it off anyway.
さすがだ。
That's my
マ
favorite
イフ
right
ェイバリット
arm.
ライトアーム。
あ、
Hey,
何気に
haven't heard
懐
that
か
in a
しい
while.
響き。
でも
But are you sure about this,
本
Okarin?
当にいいの？そうだにゃ。
That's right.
またその
This
こ
may
と
only
で
bring
今
you
日の
more,
辛い思いをするんじゃない
you
のか
more
にゃ。
pain, Kyouma.
かもしれないな。
Maybe you're right.
だったら
Then,
でも、
but
そ
I
れ
have
で
to
も
do
俺
it
は
anyway.
やらなければならない。
オカリンさん。
Okarin. The Third World War was going to happen unless I could stop it. Kagari and Suzuha's presence made that obvious. There was only one future that lay before us, but it was another piece of the path that would lead us to Steins Gate. To get there, I would have to go into the past and start over. It would be fine. I was capable of starting over as many times as I needed to now. I could overcome anything. Until I reached the promised door. I already had the message I was going to send. Sending that message must have been why I'd come to this world line in the first place. Of course I didn't know what I'd think or what I'd do or when I received it. But I knew I would be successful. I would lead us to another future, into another past.
かがりさん、
Kagari,
不安で
are
す
you
か？
nervous?
だって
If
もし
if the past changes and the world's at peace,
平和な時代
maybe
が
I'll
来た
never
ら
see Mama.
ママと出会えなくなっちゃうかもしれない。かがりちゃん。
Kagari,
心配ない。
don't worry. Huh?
アトラクタフィールド理論で
Ejector
は、
field theory says that what's supposed to happen will happen.
世界線が変わ
Even
ろ
if
う
the
と、
world line changes,
君は
you'll see Mayuri
マユ
again.
リに出会うはずだ。
本
Really?
ああ、
Yeah,
俺が保
I
証する。
guarantee it. Mama,
当？よかったね。
isn't that nice, Kagari?
オカリン
Okarin
が保証
guarantees
して
it,
くれ
so
たら
I'm
安
sure it's
心だ
true.
よ。
I'll see you in the
未来で
future,
も
okay?
きっと会おうね。
No. Yeah,
おじさん、
thanks, Uncle.
ありがとう。
And
礼
my
を言われる
other
こと
died.
じゃない。もともとは俺がまいた種だ。
There's no need to thank me. I sowed the seeds of all of this anyway. And this is where things got really hard.
ううん。そ
No,
れでも言
let
わ
me
せ
say
て。
it anyway. Thank you.
ありがとう。
I'm going to cry if the game is not working right now just because I went to check. No, not this again. We've been through this before. It's not even April Fool's Day anymore. No, let me say it anyway. Thank you. And thank you for the head pats if you meet you. Say that to Daddy too. Please say it to your daddy. Daddy is so desperate for attention from his own daughter. Thanks, Dad. You can't see the game? Anyways, thanks, Dad.
もっと
More.
もっと
Look up at me
まぶ
with
しく
dewy eyes and say it
うるうるさせ
again,
て
my
言って お
daughter.
くれ
Daughter, stop.
マイドーター。
When the past changed, everything I'd done in the past year would be undone. All the futures I experienced and all the time it took me to come back would go away too. But that wouldn't go to waste. I was here now, and in the past I was just about to begin my work. And then the future lay beyond. When all those lives came together, the door to the future would be waiting. Steins Gate would be waiting.
では行くぞ。
It is time. In the name of HOUOUIN KYOUMAAA, I now initiate Operation HOUOUIN. Lab members, are you ready? Ferris is so cute. I love her so much.
準備はいいか。
Just look at her little meow face. And to find the way there, I would change the past again.
オキドキ。
Lab mems. Okie dokie. Kurisu, so that someday we can be together once more. To see with the world, connect the possibilities. The world can Ferris does have a hint of a fang there. She has a little fangy. And yeah, we got to an ending. That's so frustrating that the game crashed when it did, because you were so fucking close. God. I'm so glad it's super easy to like skip through though to get back to where we were. But the question is, which ending was this? Because I don't know. But anyways, which ending do you guys think we got? One of the random endings? The true ending? There's apparently a bad ending. I guess we'll just have to wait and see until we get the achievements and shit. Chiyomaru Studio. 5 PV. The 5 powered in games. Oh wait, is there gonna be after credit scene? Dude, Ryan, what's that? Promise Rinascimento. Extra menu was added to the title menu. CG library menu was added to the extra menu. Sound library menu was added to the extra menu. Movie library menu was added to the extra menu. Tips menu was added to the extra menu. New item was added to tips. New item was added to the CG library. New wallpaper was added to wallpaper setting. Amazing. Oh, there's the extra. Clear list. Okay, we have this one with Kurisu. Those who seek history. That doesn't really tell me if it's the true ending though. Here, gone. Okay, so this was the Kurisu ending. It wasn't the true ending. Okay, actually, to get the Kagari ending, I just have to ignore the phone call. So, that should be fairly easy to do. We can do that next week. It's gonna be a process to get all the endings. But given there's only one extra step that I did differently for the Kagari ending, we should be able to go back and get that next week and call it a day. But then we'll have to go even further back to get the Maho ending. And then we'll have to go even further back to start progress for like the bad ending, the Mayuri ending, and the true ending. But all in all, it shouldn't be too bad. It's just not going to be anywhere near as linear as the first game, which I think we all kind of expected. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me for this very fun, exciting Steins Gate adventure that totally wasn't heartbreaking and didn't have us go through it. No, not at all. Why would Steins Gate do that to us? It never would. And I guess next week we will be getting Kagari ending, which will be exciting. Until then, bye-bye.